Wells and Smythe host the Team Podcast. We love sports just like you.
Welcome to Team Podcast, episode 058. My name is Nash, host of Team Podcast. With me, from the Horseplay Podcast, Wells.
What's going on? You guys are catching up to us.
What do you mean we're catching up to you? Oh, as far as numbers are concerned. What are you guys on?
What do you mean, what are we on?
What's the number?
I thought you...
I listened, but I don't remember what number you're on. 49?
You just retweeted, or you reposted something yesterday.
About
which episode we just came out. Anyways.
I don't remember. I wasn't watching. I think you're on 49 or something like that. I can't remember.
59.
59, excuse me. 49. We'll overtake you, don't worry about it. And on the ones and twos, we got the great DJ Smythe.
Not a DJ.
What is going on, guys? Don't speak up at once.
I was like, man, nothing really is going on right now.
We just talked for like 45 minutes.
I know.
We had a full episode
before we even hit record.
You guys should have heard what we had going before we started recording.
It was a banger, bro.
It was a great episode.
I'm a bit more intrigued on this Michael Jackson documentary now that we've already.
All right, let's go. Let's go on this.
Well, okay, so we were talking about this documentary. You guys mentioned it. I didn't think I heard about it, but I just started actually like looking into it, and it was at Sundance in the end of January, and now it just came out this week on HBO.
Mm-hmm.
And
Talking to town.
I guess, I don't know. I haven't really heard much of it until you guys said anything. But now you guys won't watch it because you don't want to be tarnished.
I'm going to fully admit, and this is me fully admitting, I like Michael Jackson as a kid. I'm almost positive he's a monster.
Wow.
I'm almost positive. But I'm going to keep my head in the sand about this whole documentary thing. And the guys who are interviewing on the documentary, they're kind of not really legitimate sources.
Yeah, they're not the most credible people.
Not the most credible people, so
you'll delve into that, but you won't delve into anything else.
I'm admitting my ignorance on this. So that's just me. I am fully admitting it. Smythe, on the other hand, I don't know what he's going to mention about it, but I'll let you speak for yourself, Smythe.
That, to me, I feel like the guy was alive. There was a lot of time to get him then. If you want to come out, that was a good time to come out. I don't want to see something after he dies. People come out saying stuff that could be true, could not be true. Only people that know are the people that are in the grave and the people that are telling the lie.
Him being alive has nothing to do with it. Him being alive or dead.
Well,
they could have been scared to.
What do they say about history? History is told by the victors, right? So those guys live longer. They tell the story.
Is that what it is? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Is that history?
Yeah. History's written by the way.
Now, it's from what I heard, certain countries aren't putting their head in the sand.
What do you mean?
Michael Jackson will not be played on the radio in Canada, in Australia, New Zealand. So that's kind of big, man.
Canada won't play "Baby It's Cold Outside" for Christmas.
True.
No, that is true. Hey, man. I don't know. I always thought the guy was sick in the head. The guy was sick in the head. When it came to all that kid stuff.
That kid stuff.
The kid stuff.
Kitty stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it.
Don't you think we were ignorant then?
No, I knew I was ignorant. I knew it from the very beginning. I was very ignorant on it. Because I liked him. I liked his music. I liked him as a musical act. But I knew I was ignorant. And I'm being ignorant now. I know that. I'll admit it.
I just think he was very vulnerable. He was put in vulnerable situations where he just had kids sleeping over his house and stuff. It's an easy way for people to extort him. So he got extorted. I don't know if he was a monster.
Isn't that kind of weird?
For me, Michael Jackson seemed like he was. What's that thing you just don't have a sexual preference really at all? Like he married the Presley girl. Did they have any biological kids? I don't think so.
No, they have 2 kids.
Yeah, he's got actual kids.
Biological, or are they adopted?
No, you mean through? No, they're not adopted. They're his kids, but I think it was like.
No, he had kids.
No, I don't think they actually have sex.
Artificial insemination. Yeah, I don't know if he was ever sexually active. And I don't know what that's a point of or whatever, and I'm clearly speculating. But for me to think that he only did things with little children and not with a grown, I don't know.
The Simpsons have stopped playing their Michael Jackson episode in syndication. A Michael Jackson statue was removed from certain museums. Wow,
yeah.
This is...
Yeah.
No,
it's like they're erasing this guy off the face.
Yeah, they're Kelly and Bill Cosby and all the...
Well, those people are bad people. He's a bad person. There's no doubt in my mind he's a bad person.
So then you should watch it then.
If you know this, then why don't you just go full...
I don't know, man.
Look, I don't get it.
Why can't you just leave me in my ignorance alone?
Well, you're saying that you're ignorant, but you're also accepting the fact that he may be a scuzz bucket.
Do you think he's a scuzz bucket? Well,
I don't know. Like, I always thought he was. Like,
yeah.
when there was like
I think most people
allegations
did.
on him in like the 90s.
Yeah, I think most people did. It's kind of like the R. Kelly thing too. Everyone had put their head in the sand about that too, and they knew he knew scuzz bucket.
But like, I think the R. Kelly thing is he's doing it with people who are willing, which is still illegal, right? Like what he's doing.
It's
like,
illegal, but it's not immoral. And
like he's still people. His
it's not immoral?
victims.
no,
quote,
they're
unquote,
just
victims,
they're young.
Yeah.
So 40 years ago, that was totally fine to marry a 13.
Not 40 years ago. No, not
50
40 years
years
ago.
ago?
No, 100 years ago.
Okay,
100 years ago, that was fine.
Okay, 100 years ago, it was widely.
Because Chuck Berry got in trouble for doing that.
But
too.
I'm saying it wasn't that long. 100 years isn't that long ago. I'm saying that back then, you married a girl who was 14. It was fine.
I guess.
That's all, you know. And diddling little kids was always wrong, right? We can agree with that. There's never a time when that was okay. So
I don't know, man. If you're a grown adult, there's no reason you're going to high school for a date.
yeah, I mean everybody's guilty. R. Kelly is.
Who's everybody?
I'm saying R. Kelly, Michael Jackson.
Oh.
Bill Cosby. If everyone's guilty, the person highest on the moral compass would now be R. Kelly. Are we right?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Right, technically, and the lowest person would be Michael Jackson. And then Bill Cosby somewhere in the middle.
In the middle.
I mean, I'm not doing a power ranking right
I'm
now.
not doing. Yeah, I'm
Well,
not doing a power ranking.
you know what?
Who's an awful person?
You have to go all the way. You have to go all the way.
Sure,
Everyone's
yeah.
guilty.
If you touch kids, you're the worst person.
You are the
imaginable.
worst. You are the worst.
That is the one thing I kind of cringe in movies.
What?
I can watch gore and all that stuff, but when I see
it's a
like,
movie.
yeah, I know, but that's the one thing I like kind of cringe at. I'm like, oh, I don't want to see that, or even the thought of it. I kind of cringe at
I
that
feel like
stuff.
kids don't really get diddled or die in movies.
Yeah,
What was that movie? Heavenly Bones.
yeah,
Yeah, that kind of pushed.
it happened in Split.
Oh, the
Yeah,
girls.
yeah.
That
No, not the
first-
girls. The one girl that was the dark haired one.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, something happened to her in her past. Like they kept on flashing. Did you watch Split?
Yeah, no.
They kept on flashing. Remember in the woods
Yeah,
with their uncle? Yeah,
yeah,
they kept on flashing back to it. Now that I say that, you can probably imagine what happened. Yeah, I kind of cringe at that. I was like, ugh. Yeah, gore, no problem. Everything else, no problem. Even the thought of that,
So like a 5-year-old gets his head like cut off. It's fine. You're okay with that?
Hereditary?
Did you see it?
No, I haven't. It's on my list.
Wait,
It's on
so
my-
you spoiled
I know-
a big part of the movie, but you haven't seen it.
I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything.
You said someone gets their head cut off, and then you said a movie where the kid gets their head cut off.
Yeah.
A kid gets his head cut
I
off.
thought that's what you were mentioning. I knew that. I thought that's
But
what
you
you were
haven't
mentioning.
seen it.
Oh, what were you mentioning? You just said it randomly?
Yeah, it was random.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were actually mentioning it.
Okay, now I'm gonna watch the movie and know what's gonna come.
It happened. Just watch it. It's
Cool.
It's a very different movie. You probably won't like it.
Who you talking to?
Him.
Smythe?
Obviously. Come on.
Oh. Who did Hereditary? Was he the Canadian?
I don't know who directed it. But Toni Collette is in it, and she's amazing.
Yeah, wasn't it Toni Collette that directed?
She's in it.
She's in it? She didn't direct it? Oh, okay.
I'll look up the director right now. It's someone you've never heard of. Because when I saw it, I didn't know who it was.
Okay. Shout out to Toni Collette, Canadian.
She's not Canadian. She's Australian.
Yikes.
She was also in Go, right?
No, that's Sarah Pauli.
That's it. Sorry. I got them. No, sorry.
How do you confuse?
I don't know. I don't know. I
They
don't know.
look
all the
so
white
alike.
men.
Yeah, they look so alike. It's just,
What was the movie that Sarah Polley was in this year?
Oh, I don't know.
Now I'm gonna have to look that up. Sorry, look that
You
up
don't
while
need
you're
to look it up.
Yeah, look that up. while you're
The movie Hereditary is directed by an American named Ari Aster. Anyways, it's on Netflix. Watch it.
Yeah, it's on my list of this big pile of lists I got.
Of the movies that I recommend that you didn't watch.
Be quiet and watch. Have you watched one movie I recommended? Just one.
we have this fight
recommended one in a
every
while.
week. Have we had this fight every week?
I almost recommend almost one every week. Have you watched one?
I watched Bohemian Rhapsody.
Okay.
Not that good.
No, I didn't think so. It was that good anyway.
And
Stars Born.
how did that guy get nominated for an Academy Award?
Because he played Freddie Mercury.
Tell me what happened as soon as the movie started playing, you could not take your eyes off his mouth.
I mean, Freddie Mercury had.
I know, but those
dental work
those
needed
chompers in his, I was like,
Those
what are you doing?
chompers.
Like right away, I couldn't stop watching his mouth for 20 minutes.
You know what? I wouldn't say it was a bad performance, and I wouldn't say it was great, but he had his mannerisms down, which I thought was cool. But he didn't look or sound like him, and he didn't sing.
No,
That's I don't know, man. I didn't see Star is Born because I don't need to see it. Because everyone's
You've seen the
for
3 different versions of it. That's what
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I tell
And
you watch Stars Born like next year or something.
But
Well,
I heard,
wait.
but like at least what's his name sang in it, right?
Yes, he did. Bradley Cooper learned how to play the guitar, and he sang in it.
So I don't know.
Even with that voice he did.
I respect him.
Yeah, Rami. I don't. It's not a good movie. This is not going to age well.
It wasn't that good. I also found it funny that at the Oscars, no one said anything about the director
Who? Which director?
in Bohemian Rhapsody.
Who's the director of that?
Bryan Singer.
That's it.
Speaking of diddling,
Yeah, he's not going to come to Hollywood again. He's done. That guy is done in Hollywood. But I think that's why they gave it some slack, because it was such a mess on that movie. Because they had to go through 2 directors and they still put together. I don't know.
well, apparently it was already done, and they just like
Oh, yeah?
reshoots and stuff with the new director.
I don't know. I don't understand why that movie got all the praise it got. But other than that, have you seen Favorite? The Favorite?
No, I haven't.
That you should watch. Don't that one. You definitely should watch. You'll like that. You'll enjoy that one. It's not what you think. So whatever. Oh, I want to shout out to you, Wells.
Thank you.
Last podcast, you were saying that NBA teams should be going more towards, or you feel that they're going more towards team
The
aspect.
league's adapting.
Yeah, more team aspect. Adam Silver at the Sloan Conference said exactly that. He said, and the Sloan Conference just happened last week.
What's that?
It's like a tech conference for.
So they unveiled the magical jerseys.
Yeah, that's where he unveiled the magical jersey. They unveiled a lot of tech, a lot of innovation, stuff like that. Big thing the NBA does every once in a year. Now, Adam Silver sat down with Bill Simmons, and he said he's concerned about the NBA because it seems like this year, especially, that players are unhappy and they don't know what they want, and that's fine. Not everyone knows.
Oh,
what they
I heard
want.
that comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was talking about how players are. Basically
Yeah, so basically he was saying that, teams should be looking more into actually forming teams, because he feels like this generation of player and people, they're connected, but they're not connected. So, like, NBA team back in the 80s, they would go on the plane, they'd go on their bus, they'd go whenever, they play cards, they talk, they interact.
fight.
They fight. They're interacting with one another. They go to a city, they go to dinner, they go to like that. These players today, they get on the plane, they get on the bus, whatever. What do? Put their headphones on. Get on Netflix. Go on Instagram.
Yeah.
Bill Simmons brought up players like Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. Now they say they're best of friends, but I'm like, how good of friends are they? Are they only communicating through text? Yeah. Do they actually go out and have dinner together? Do they only have like stuff like that?
You
like
only virtually live on opposite sides of the country, right?
Exactly. Okay. So how often do you think these guys actually talk?
Probably all the time.
Through text, probably, right?
Yeah.
They're not actually in the same room conversating, stuff like that. Like, they probably don't know each other at all, but they think they're best of friends. This is the kind of stuff that Adam Silver's. And when he was talking about that, I thought of Wells. I'm like, he said this last week, so I'm like, shout out to you.
They're millennials, man. What do you want? The
The
league's full of
day
millennials
and
now.
age of the superstar in basketball, I think, is fading, and it's becoming more. Like I said last week, I think it's going to become more team oriented, and it's already starting this year with teams like Milwaukee and Denver, where they don't really like. I know Giannis is a star, but like, I don't know, it's not.
I don't know if it's dead. Like, the superstars will be there, but that the whole thing about where LeBron took his friends,
big three. The big three is
and
not
took his
gonna
friends
be a
and
thing
formed
anymore.
his teams. I think they're going to find out it's going to be harder and harder. It's still going to happen, I believe, but I think the quote unquote teams that are actually built and actually, again, like Denver, Milwaukee, like you said, Wells.
Yeah.
I think those
Utah,
teams,
Portland.
yeah, I think those teams will probably emerge
I think
as a better teams.
it may be a lot simpler than that. I think because the league has gone to shooting, more people can participate. So if you have a league full of 3 stars, it's very rare to have the best 3-point shooters on that team, and that team can't beat a team of good shooters that spread the floor, which is what we currently see in
Well, you can
Milwaukee.
always fill it. That's the whole thing about that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like
You
Milwaukee.
can always fill them with 3-point shooters. Like LeBron, when he went to Cleveland, he filled the team with 3-point shooters, right?
Well, first, it was still LeBron James, Kevin Love, and Kyrie Irving. 3 perennial All-Stars.
Yep.
So we can't say he filled with shooters and they won still.
Well, no, who else do they get? Like, they got J.R. Smith, they got Corver,
Fry.
Channing Frye, all guys that can shoot. Like, you can always find shooters.
Yeah, but it was...
Well, we're just talking about the team dynamic. Not necessarily how they're built or what's put on it, but we're just the entire team dynamic as a whole. More team, more guys built up. They came into the league together.
The system.
Yeah, they came up to the team together. They got good together and stuff like that. I do believe the superstar teams will still be formed.
Yeah. but I don't think they'll be as successful.
Exactly.
I think
Exactly.
shooting should beat them, but I think it's because of shooting is more important now, and there's just more guys that can knock down shots.
All right. Another thing I want to touch on, the Horseplay Bracket Challenge. So, Horseplay Podcast is doing a... When does Final Four start? Or
2 weeks today.
2 weeks today. So, Horseplay Podcast is going to be starting a bracket challenge. What were you guys doing on Yahoo?
Yeah,
or-
it'll be on Yahoo. Basically, it's going to be $25 per entry. If you want to do more than one, go ahead. And winner take all.
Yeah.
So, probably... I mean, obviously, more people will start signing up after next Sunday, after Selection Sunday, when everyone knows the brackets.
You guys this is a gambling show now, basically. Horseplay's got
We have
you
a
guys
gambling
got-
section.
I know. You're like the line of the week, and just now it's a bookie. We're
No,
going in.
no, it's-
I'm definitely playing, but
Yeah, for sure. I hope all you guys
No,
are.
we're playing. That's why we're going to promote on the show.
And I hope because many people are trying to get a good amount.
Yeah.
And we've got a lot of feedback already from it. So
I mean, I'm not going to win. I'm just donating my money.
Don't
but
say
like,
that, man.
No,
I'm
not.
definitely donating my money.
you know how many times I've like thought I've gone in. I'm like, yeah, this is the bracket, and I've only won it once in like 15 years in any bracket
Just gonna
challenge.
get Alana to fill bracket out. She'll probably.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call my team the Flip a Coin team. I'm literally going to flip a coin
You're
for
not
every
gonna
pick.
flip a coin.
No,
You're not gonna pick-
100%. I'm going to do it. I'm going to flip a coin for
Okay,
every
so
pick.
this-
Oh no,
Keep
we're doing
this
it. We're doing it.
on
Yeah.
record here.
Yeah.
That when this guy
'Cause we're-
flips the
'cause we-
16 seeds in the first
Yes.
round,
all 16s.
If it doesn't matter, it won't matter. Because
you're gonna, you know what? You're gonna have to show us.
No, I will.
You're gonna have to record you flipping a coin.
Yeah.
oh,
with a
you're
certain
going to
pick.
see my bracket and go, what the hell is that? When I got a number one losing in the first round,
This guy's gonna flip a coin 32 times.
32 times. I'm going to call my. Well, the only difference between my bracket flipping a coin and your bracket is I'm using a coin. That's the only difference. You might as well
No.
flip a coin to pick your
I
brackets.
think you don't pick any upsets in the first round until you're past the 5th seed.
No.
12 can beat 5. Outside of that,
So you're trying to play. You're trying to play
Last year,
and
last
there's
year
no
we
logic.
saw a 16 seed win for the
Yeah.
first time.
Yes.
So all bets are off this year. You got to pick and choose. You got to do some sort of analysis if you want. But anyway, so we'll push that this week. We'll push it next week as well.
Yeah.
And then 2
So-
weeks today it starts.
So you guys are going to put that in the horseplay?
Yeah, and then you guys.
when are the play-ins? The play-ins are before Thursday, though.
play-ins don't count for this though?
I thought they
Okay.
started already.
The play-ins are on the
tournaments
Tuesday and the Wednesday.
Yeah.
Before the Thursday. But those won't count. Like, you don't pick the play-ins. You just pick who. Like, you're gonna pick who out of that is gonna go through whoever they play. It's 2 teams play for 11 seed, 2 teams play for a 6 seed. So,
Yeah. So I'm basically going to donate my money to you guys. So whatever.
well, someone's got to win, right?
Yeah,
everyone's like, I'm not gonna win. I'm like, well,
Someone's gotta win.
Someone's got to win. And so, obviously, the more people that join, the more money you can win, and it'll get you involved in the actual tournament. You can see. Those first 2 days are probably the most fun.
I feel
of the
like
year.
I feel like now you guys should just do leagues for everything. Just do like a suicide baseball league. For like series winners, and it just goes out throughout the whole year.
Well, I mean, this is stuff we can work on,
Yeah, okay.
but
We got a plan.
We're pushing this one.
We gotta plan it out.
plan it out. We gotta
plan it out.
That's why.
Well, it's
That's what 20%, bro.
20%. Yeah, right.
yeah. Like I said, we're gonna push that out in the next. The site is already up, and I'll provide the link eventually. But we're gonna start promoting.
And we'll
it,
repost it, obviously,
Yeah, so
to all our
I hope
social
everyone
medias.
hope everyone can join. And like I said, it makes watching the tournament that more fun, and you'll get more invested. And good luck to everyone, except for everyone else, except for me. And if you want, you can do more than one bracket if you feel like
Spending more money.
Yeah,
I,
Get a
ju-
bigger donation.
I hope everyone's a winner and everyone wins. I just hope I'm the best winner.
I win the most.
Any recommends and warrants for you guys?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Shoot, Wells.
Well, I didn't have a recommend going into the show today, but we were having a conversation on the way here, and then it started again while we were here. I recommend getting a scene card, man. I was telling Nash I'm going to go see Captain Marvel tomorrow for free because I have
The points on his
points
seat.
on my card to redeem it, and it's like every 4 or 5 movies you see, you eventually get to see a free movie. And I have it built up enough that I can see it in like in an IMAX or AVX. So I'm gonna be going to see Captain Marvel for free. And
Now, an extra aside, when you go to the movies, you can purchase a combo of like popcorn and drink, whatever, and it comes with 1,000 scene points. So it's basically enough to see a movie every time you go there. You paid $20 for your drink and your popcorn, whatever.
Yeah.
But you also
I
get a
believe
movie.
it's
out of it.
1,200 scene points and you get a free movie. 1,500 and you get like the premium. So I recommend getting that.
You're bearing the lead, though. You're bearing the lead. I don't have a SIM card.
Yeah, you don't, which I don't understand.
I ordered one. It didn't come for some reason. I don't know.
You just get it on. You just
Where
go
did
on-
you
just
order
go
it?
I
online.
did. I went online.
I mean, but you just download the app and it's on the app.
Yeah,
on your phone.
yes, so I don't understand.
And you just-
I'm pretty sure
And you
just
would
get
have
it,
the most
like,
free movies I've ever seen probably
Yeah.
by now.
Like when
Is
did
there
you
an app?
order
Because I
them?
looked for an app.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It didn't show-
Cineplex, the Cineplex app.
Cineplex.
You can just sign in.
I don't understand, man.
Yeah, you gotta do it.
I went on there and they said you have to go do this, you have to go do that.
No,
I was
That was
like,
before
whatever.
though. The app's new. The app's new. I'll give you that.
Well, even
It's only a
like,
couple of years
I've
old.
had this for like 10 years, 15
Okay,
years.
yeah, you guys. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it like after the show. Like you guys
yeah,
gotta show
you
me.
just
I
write
must
down.
be doing something wrong because I went on there.
Yes.
You go do this, go do that.
There you
Go
go.
to this site.
And they're just
I
like,
don't
I'm
know
done.
what. See, maybe you're like
Different scene.
maybe another country. I don't know.
Maybe. I'm in like Perth.
Perth is a
Warren?
city.
Yeah, in Australia. Yes, on the
Any Warrensville?
west coast. Yes.
Are we doing? Don't you recommend?
I recommend.
Oh,
Oh, you want to get one?
Okay, yeah, Warren Deadspin.
What's wrong with
Deadspin's really butthurt about Barstool Sports again.
Why?
Seems like
they
every,
always butthurt over Buster.
It seems like every 3 months they have an article that comes out to try and like expose.
Weren't they beefing with ESPN? Wasn't there now Barstool's their enemy now? Or they still hate E ESPN?
Well, Barstool's everyone's enemy, but
No,
like,
I mean, Deadspin.
I don't know, but they had a post come out this week about Barstool kind of stealing content and not like giving notice to who it
Everyone
was.
does that.
And the same thing as I won't go into it. I don't want you to hit the F button again, but
Thank you.
I
feel
so
like-
this comedian was saying how she got content stolen from Barstool and they were like trying to like compensate her or whatever, and then Deadspin wrote an article about exposing Barstool again, and this is like the third time they've done it in
Blah,
a
blah,
year.
blah.
And they just like they keep trying to like put
They're
her in
really
the
going
gutter,
for it.
but it never happened, and it just backfires into them because then Deadspin Barstool was like, well, your CEO made a racist comment like a couple weeks ago about how she lives in the Puerto Rican area of Brooklyn, and she should be like applauded for it. So like just like
they just can't get it together
no,
over
like,
there. at
like I don't
Deadspin.
understand.
Deadspin keeps trying to do
People
this.
in glass houses should not throw
No.
stones.
Yeah, that's
So
don't-
basically, that's my warning: is Deadspin is just
Deadspin.
they don't need to like go after other entities like ESPN or Barstool. They just need to worry about themselves.
TMZ's kind of taking their lane though. Deadspin's lane.
yeah.
But it's like Deadspin went after ESPN. Now they're going after Barstool. Like,
Like I don't get like
is this what you're going to do now? Just go after other people?
When's the last time you guys been on that site?
Deadspin.
Yeah.
I go often. Like
Yeah,
they
sometimes
do
I-
have good
yeah.
articles and original content, which I like. Like, but like I don't understand why they always do this. Like, just stay in your lane.
They're dead to me.
Spin. Anyways, that's my recommendation.
All right, I got a recommend and a warn this week. Yeah. Recommend. Do you guys remember the game Portal?
Yep.
Yep.
Did you guys ever play through it?
No.
No.
So my recommend is at the end of Portal 1 and Portal 2, there was a pop song made by the AI villain. And the songs are just hilarious and great. The first one's called Still Alive. Mm-hmm. And it's basically about how it's doing science and the guy tried to kill her or it or whatever. And it's still alive and it's hilarious. And the second one's called Want You Gone from the second time that he tried to kill it. And if you have nothing to do, pop those in on YouTube and play them. I think they're very interesting, and I think it's a connection between gaming and music and like pop culture that we don't get anymore. Like it's like they don't try enough anymore in games. They just make games, try to get all your money. They want you to get obsessed with it, but they don't do anything outside the box to like make you like really deeply think. So
Didn't Fortnite do that? With
No.
a concert?
No.
They had that one
he's
concert.
saying make you think. You didn't play through Red Dead, did you?
No. Obviously didn't.
finish it. I'm almost the end though. So
Sorry, I want to think, but I don't want to finish this game because I'm thinking too much.
this is too much. But
Wait,
no.
what
but-
about the song makes you think?
So the concept of like AI and it's doing like science and it's like, oh,
No, I get that. But what about
so
about
when
song?
you're playing the game keeps saying you get rewarded with cake if you finish this in X, Y, and do X, Y, Z.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no actual cake. It just wants you to die, whatever. And in the song, they mention like, we'll just keep on trying to run out of cake. So the AI is continuously trying to experiment on humans. And then it's like, we'll make a neat gun for the people that are still alive. So it's like people die doing experiments, but I'm a scientist. People have to be sacrificed. And it's like the concept of like AI being at a higher level than humanity. Anyway, it's interesting, it's fun, and the songs are really fun, and they're great. And I think you should listen to them. recommend. My Warren this year,
This year?
This week, WrestleMania 35. It's shaping up to be the worst show in the
How are you
history.
warning something that's not even out yet?
It's shaping up to be the worst show ever.
So you're saying no, don't watch it?
Do
Which
not.
means it will probably be the best.
No, it's an absolute stay away this year. I got Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey. We've already seen it happen for the last 3 months. I got John Cena, Samoa Joe. I got Kofi Kingston, Daniel Bryan.
That's gonna be a good match,
Seth
man.
Rollins, Brock Lesnar. It's just like, the tag team Shane McMahon. Like, it's like they're
Are you just bored with wrestling?
no. It's a snowball of like things I don't really want to see happening, and it's slowly building to like something terrible. So my recommendation is don't get hyped for it. I'm
Warren.
going to watch
Warren.
it. Obviously, sorry, my warning is do not get hyped for it. You're gonna watch it, obviously, but don't think it's gonna be this great thing because we all know what's coming down the pipeline. So that's it for me.
We do.
Yeah, I can tell you who's winning every match right now.
Yeah, most people think that, but then it never works out to be that way. I got nothing.
Nice.
What?
I can recommend a new podcast I found, Random Order. I already recommended 4Ye Entertainment, two guys from Toronto, make funny skits on YouTube, vlogs, all that kind of stuff. They had a show on Much Music called
You already recommended this.
I know, the
Much
4Y
Music?
Entertainment. They had a show on Much Music called Group Chat. They basically sat around and talked with their friends, but now they just came out with a podcast now.
Oh.
So they canceled Group Chat, and now they came out with a podcast. Random Order, very funny. It's just guys just hanging out, chilling, talking with their friends. That's basically the whole concept. It's pretty cool. If you follow them on YouTube and you're into them a lot, into their channels, the vlogs are really funny. The skits are very funny. It's just them and their personality. And if you're into the personality,
Key and Peele.
you'll love it. It's not anywhere close to Key and Peele.
It's Key and Peele.
It's. Have you watched one video of them?
No. And I won't.
Look at that.
I have it and I won't.
The ignorance is strong.
I have it and I will not.
Smythe's that guy. He can give you an opinion on everything. Everything and anything. Doesn't matter if he's seen it, heard about it, or anything. He will give you an opinion.
Smartest guy in the room.
Smartest guy in the
You
room.
explained it, and I said that's what reminded me of Key and Peele. You said something like
But
that.
it's nothing like
well,
Key and
no,
Peele.
I'm not interested. You just,
If I start talking about rocket fuel, he would tell you, whether he likes it or not. No, the formulaic conversions is too much. I don't like it. That is you to a T.
you know that made no sense, right?
That's exactly what it said. That's exactly what I mean. It makes no sense. I've never watched it, never seen it, don't even know anything about it, but it's exactly like Key and Peele.
It's Key and Peele.
But anyway,
Warren?
no, I got nothing. I got no warrants. I've been sleeping a lot. That's basically what I've been doing.
Warren, stay out of bed.
I've been sleeping a lot. That's all I've been doing. That's it. Let's get into the actual show.
Into the actual show. This is the show, guys.
This is true.
I feel like he wants to talk sports.
That's fine.
Sports?
Let's talk some sports. We'll ignore that. So I wanted to take the temperature of Toronto sports right now. That's the first topic we're going to talk to. Toronto sports. Sorry for you guys who live out in Vancouver. So let's start with the Leafs. 5-3-2 in their last 10. Lost to the Islanders last week.
Got shellacked.
Way to show up for Tavares that game, boys.
It's the second game of a back-to-back.
Yeah. Well, you would think that's the game they're going to stand up for. That Islander game, you would think.
Well, I mean...
And what's his name? The goalie there, he didn't play, which
Yeah.
is kind of weird.
They-
Sparks played. I don't know.
Yeah,
why
they
played.
just because they gave up on that game. So here's...
No, he didn't play from the beginning. It's not like he.
Yeah, no, well, they sat him.
Oh, you mean going
they're throwing
into
the game.
yeah.
They just basically threw sparks to the Wolves, right? But you got to think of it this way: you have 2 games back to back, right? You take the guaranteed 2 points. Does that make sense? So you play Edmonton; they're a bad team. You take your guaranteed 2, and then you go in to Long Island. You know they're a great team.
Not a great team. They're a good team. No one call them great, but whatever. Go on, continue.
Well, you're in the second game of back to back. You just throw and hope maybe you guys come out with it, maybe you don't. But you're accepting losing that game, and that's what the Leafs did. And they didn't care it was Johnny.
I think that's what Babcock did. I think that's what Babcock did. He accepted losing. Anyway, the point of this is, and it seems like to me, correct me if I'm wrong, Wells, Leafs fans have basically waved the white flag and said we're not going to win the first round.
Leafs fans?
Yes. I hear a lot of Leaf fans, a lot of people, even in the media, they're not going to beat Bruins. They've already automatically said, I'm not going to beat the Bruins. They're not going to make it out of the first
I
round.
don't say that around Wells, man.
I don't.
True or
I don't-
false?
Wells wants to fight.
False.
False,
How,
yeah.
how is that like?
I'm just telling you what I hear, man. It seems like this is the talk going
what I
around.
hear, man.
That's what the seems like going
Last
around.
time I checked, you play the games.
Yeah, I know. Like this team is loaded up, and it seems like to me, and again, because everyone's like they can't beat Bruins, so there's no point.
I don't know. So last year, the Leafs took the Bruins to 7 games,
Mm-hmm. They did.
and they were up in the third period of Game 7.
Mm-hmm. They
and
did.
lost.
They did.
Now in the offseason, who'd they get? John Tavares.
Yes.
Okay.
Everyone's a year older.
Yeah, everyone's a year older. Kapanen, much better now. Janssen,
Yes.
much better now. They got Jake Muzzin. Okay. Anderson's having his best year ever.
Mm-hmm.
So,
This is the most talented
right.
we've seen this team in a long
Now,
time.
who did Boston go and get? Oh, wait.
No one.
No, they got some guys, but like.
They might have got
No,
some.
nothing of like
wait.
huge.
Oh, wait.
I just don't know.
So, okay. But like, again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Yeah.
Like, maybe they just.
They're big guys. Are the big guys still? You got
Sure. Still had the big line
Yeah.
with Pasternak, Bergeron, and Marchand. They went and got a couple of third liners like Coyle and Johansson.
Chara's still playing well. Kind
For
of crazy.
42 years old?
Yeah, still playing well.
But like, I don't know. Like, obviously, you want to try and get home ice advantage for the playoffs.
Can they?
Which won't happen.
It won't happen now because Boston won again tonight. They were down by 2 with 40 seconds left, and they scored 2 goals.
There's a lot of points to catch up to, right? Because like Boston has like 91, they have 86.
Boston also games in hand.
Now they have 5. They're 5 points up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know, but like, I don't know how you can concede. Like, maybe you just think of seeing the same old thing over again. You're just like, oh, we're just gonna concede. Well, look what happened with Washington and Pittsburgh. Like, eventually they prevailed. So,
yeah. After how long? 10 years.
yeah, but like,
They still did it.
still did it.
Now again, I've said this in the beginning of the season, and you shot it down, Wells. I don't know if it's true or not, Smythe, that Boston could be the Cavaliers to the Leafs Raptors.
Sure.
So this is the first year we're deeper than Boston. We're the best we've ever been. Our players are
You're
happy.
quote unquote deeper, but are they better?
Yeah, this is the first year they could.
Are they actually better? Than them?
This is the first year where I could say in a 7-game series, I'm taking the Leafs over Boston.
Wow.
If it wasn't for history, and the most important part here is that there is history. Okay, the Maple Leafs can go in there saying, "Hey, we had a tough series last year." They fall back in the same habits, and they're out in the first round. But if we go talent for talent, if you said which team do you want to take, Toronto or Boston?
Boston.
Okay,
Now the goaltending for Toronto, I would
better.
take over
and the forwards.
because
you would
right
say-
now Halak Tuukka Rask isn't playing well. Not he's not really playing well this year.
Right.
He hasn't had a good season overall. Freddie Anderson, probably arguably the best goalie in the league, other than probably Fury
No, I
or
think
Vasilevsky in Tampa Bay.
consistency wise, Fleury.
Fleury.
Oh.
Sorry, Fury. Sorry, excuse me.
I think Anderson might be the most consistent goalie in the league. Now, the forward lines,
Arguably.
you're going to take Toronto. The defense,
Boston.
100%.
2 out of 3, man. That's all I'm saying.
But whose top line would you rather take? Boston's or Toronto?
I'd rather
Who's
take
depth would you
Toronto.
rather take?
I'd rather take Toronto.
Yeah,
top
that's
six.
the only, that's
Yeah.
about the only thing you have. The depth. That's the only thing you could probably say.
Well, you gotta play all the
Their top
lines.
line is better.
Yeah, I
Top
take
line's one of the
Boston
best in the
top
league.
line over
That's
anybody.
It's not an
Yeah,
argument.
take them over anyone. But
Yeah.
after that, I'm taking Toronto almost second, third, and fourth line.
Toronto,
Fourth line, like whatever.
and if you look at the records too, like, look at all the I'm not taking anything away from Boston, but like they have more overtime and shootout wins than Toronto does, right? Like, and they also have some losses in overtime too, so their points beefed up on that. But like if you look at the even strength goals and stuff, like Toronto's up there in the top, right?
Yes.
And we know penalties don't really call that much in the playoffs.
Well, they score goals. That's what they do. That's what Toronto's supposed to
yeah,
do.
yeah, and they score even strength goals.
Yeah.
So they can they don't have to rely on a power play. And even if they do get a power play, their power play is still top 10. But like, I don't know, like when it comes down to scoring in the playoffs, you need even strength goals, and they have some of the best even strength goals most in the league.
Isn't Tavares the best even strength scorer in the league?
No, I think Gensel is, but
Tavares.
I mean they're up there, right? So I don't know, like I just waving the white flag already is so Toronto. Like,
It's not. We've been through enough, man. We've been.
I
through
know, but
enough.
like,
it's
change
not
is gonna happen, man.
Yeah, it's not their fault. It's PTSD. It's not their fault.
Is this year though? I don't know.
History
do the way
aside,
everything? Probably
if I had to
not.
pick a team, I'm taking Toronto over Boston. History aside.
That sounds like more your fandom.
No. I think Toronto's a better team. Now, the problem is, if we happen to magically get past Pittsburgh, what waits for us?
Tampa.
No, Boston. Boston.
No, when we get past Boston, who waits for us?
Tampa.
Yeah.
Tampa or Pittsburgh.
Tampa, then Pittsburgh.
Or Pittsburgh. No, because if you're in the wild card and you beat Tampa, then you'd play them.
Yeah, but, okay.
It depends how the matchup goes up.
Yeah.
Right now, Tampa is playing Montreal in the first round, as it stands right now.
And Pittsburgh's only in by a point. Was that?
But, I mean, we still have
2
a month left.
Yeah, just
So
so
anything can happen.
people
can get
I
hurt.
think like 17 games are left for the majority of teams.
Yeah, we got 1 month.
All right. So in this room, you two guys, as Leafs fans, you are not worried at all.
That's not worried.
I don't see anything that's really worrisome. Like, Smythe kind of nailed it on the head with it was being back-to-back games against the Islanders.
Yeah, and the regular season, I'm not really too worried. I'm just thought, that's a game
what's
that
there to worry about?
you should probably step up. I'm just telling you what I hear. That
Two
people
of
are-
their like one of their best centers is out, Kadri. Two of their best defensemen are out, Dermott and Gardner. So they're still trucking along, doing
Gardner's
all
still
right.
up?
Yes, Gardner's
Okay.
out. He won't be back for a bit.
Oh, okay. Thought you were coming back.
Same with Dermott.
Dermott's hurt.
Yep. So, I mean, we'll see. That's why they play the games, though.
It's why
I never
you
understood
play
like
the
waving the white
games.
flag unless it's like Toronto versus Cleveland in basketball.
I'm not saying the team's waving the white flag. I'm just saying
this is-
the fandom
this
seems to have waved the white
that's
flag.
so Toronto.
This is the Cleveland Raptors, basically, for the
No, it's
Leafs.
not.
It is.
It's not hasn't got there yet.
Well, they never got
if
swept.
it happens
so.
this year,
Yeah, it's there.
sure.
Yeah, it
But
hasn't
then,
got there
then
yet.
you can start making
What
that
is
conversation.
it? 6 and 7?
Sorry?
The Leafs lost in 6 year before and 7 last year.
Yeah, and then that other Leaf team lost to Boston again at 6.
Yeah, 7.
No, it's 7.
7.
When we
It was
were up
4-1.
4-1.
Yeah.
So,
Let's not bring that up.
that was arguably.
And that wasn't this Leafs team. That was the previous Leafs team.
Yeah.
That
Then I was a Red Wings fan.
Toronto Raptors now.
No, I think these guys are more.
Now 7-3 in their last 10. Lost to the Rockets.
They lost 2 in a row.
Lost 2 in a row. Lost to the Rockets. Lost to
Probably
Detroit.
One of them, though.
But last week they beat the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Celtics, pretty convincingly. I don't know what does that mean to you, Smythe? Like losing to the Rockets, which they had a bit of a comeback in the second half.
Yeah,
Then they completely changed the lineup again.
I think they're actually
But
pretending
then
like
beating
they,
Celtics.
yeah, they think they don't care about these games. They're actually playing like they don't care about these games. They're playing by rotation. They're trying different lineups. They're doing different things, and the outcome isn't really concerning them.
But you just said this is a team that should be.
I'm
actually worried.
concerned about them
Why?
because what's their identity? Like when the playoffs start, what are they going to do? Kawhi has to play every game. The Raptors aren't even used to seeing this guy play all the time right now.
Well, you don't play back-to-backs in the playoffs.
He'll play every other day, but they're not used to seeing him
Even
play
longer.
every game.
Even longer. Sometimes you
Right.
get 3 days.
So,
in between.
so
2
now,
days in between.
yeah. And then half the time Marcus Gasol's out there, and then half the time Ibaka's out there, and then we're gonna have Van Vliet come off an injury, and then now half the time we're gonna see Jeremy Lin in there. Like it's just guys shuffling all the time. Like Danny Green's rhythm's obviously off because he has no idea what's going on in the court at any given time.
Everyone's rhythm is off.
Right? You're going to the playoffs in a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus Gasol has not found his groove with this team yet.
I think yes.
Has he?
Yeah, I think yes. He's coming out the bench. He's not gonna start. He's definitely not starting.
He gave me a 1 rebound performance the other night with 0 points. All I'm saying is that he
Played well
can't.
defensively.
He
And he
can't.
was part of that comeback.
He can't be him if he doesn't know if he's going to be in or out, if he's starting, if he's getting 10 minutes, 15, 20. Like, they have to figure it out by playoffs. And I mean, they have an easy path. We don't talk about it.
What do you mean?
If things stay the way they are, they'll have
They play Brooklyn.
an easy path.
They play Brooklyn in the first round if it stays right now.
So
That's probably the hardest.
you'll
of,
get
the bottom
Brooklyn,
four.
then you'll get the Pacers, and you'll get what's left. That's a great playoff run, right?
Yeah, I guess if you see it right that way. Now you mentioned something yesterday because we're in the group chat. It's about their bench not looking up to snuff.
I think Smythe kind of said some things too that made sense. Is like they don't know what, like there's no rhythm, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's gonna be key come the playoffs. Now we got still a month left too with basketball, and I think eventually down the road, the stretch run, you're gonna have to start figuring out what your rotations are, and you're going to have to stop babying Kawhi Leonard because I feel like he's so inconsistent. Like, like I know he hits a game winner against Boston to win the game, but like, yeah, and he had like 38 points, but like then he sits out the next day, and then he comes back like on Tuesday and doesn't look that great. Like it's just like I feel like in order to be
he had that game winner against Portland.
Sorry. But like you know what I mean? Like I feel like he's got no consistency. He's got no. And then the team's playing with him one game, they're playing without him the next game, so they got to switch their lineups and their rotations. And then you guys like I don't know, like it's just
he's holding this team hostage almost worse than LeBron held Cleveland hostage.
I don't think he's doing it. I don't think he's doing it. No, what I hear, everything he's doing is the Toronto Raptors doing it. They're just putting him on low management. But he's not saying no, I want to play. He's saying this is fine. I don't care. He's not up and saying no, put me out there now. He's just like, okay, it's fine. I'll put load management.
Like I'm sorry, but you're getting paid. What's he getting paid? Like 20-something million, and like you're playing like 2/3 of the games.
That's the NBA, man. That's the NBA.
NBA or not?
I don't like it. I don't like it, but that's the NBA.
I don't understand like why we baby.
No one else does it. When you really think about it, no one else is doing this.
What do you mean?
No one else is load management taking off games at this rate that he's doing.
Dwayne Wade's been doing load management.
Dwayne Wade's 50.
Dwayne Wade plays for Miami. And he's like
Dwayne Wade did it.
Like Kawhi Leonard is like they were babying him on Tuesday. Like he was only at like 26 minutes when they went to the fourth quarter, and there was still 8 minutes left.
Yeah,
and like he didn't play on Sunday, so he had like 5 days off. Like, and you don't play till Friday, so like what?
No, I'm not saying I don't like it, but this is the NBA. Like the Spurs, when he was on the Spurs, they had these days. Even Tim Duncan, they sat everyone. They took days off. The Miami Heat did it a while ago. The Miami Heat still does it with Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, but Dwayne Wade's different.
I understand, but I'm just saying that this is the NBA. They do it. Now, LeBron was on that at some point in Cleveland. He stopped doing that now when he's now in the Lakers in the last year.
Because every time I watched LeBron on Cleveland, he was always on the court.
I never said LeBron missed an odd game.
No, right? Remember last year? That was the first time he played a full season.
Yeah, played every game.
Every game. But before he was on load management. Remember that time he took the 2 weeks off and he went to Miami?
But he missed 2 or 3 games. He's not Kawhi Leonard's sitting every 2 or 3 games, taking a game off, right? It's a different situation, and it's hurting the team. And I say hurting the team now. Yeah, I know, because they only have 17 losses.
They're second overall.
I know, I get it. But it is hurting the team.
They could be first. But like, look at them the way they've been playing these games. Like they lost. They should beat Detroit. I don't care if it's in Detroit and it's a revenge game for Casey. Like you should beat this team. And they looked like crap, and they were still in it. So if they were playing well, they would have won that game easily.
Now now Nurse has said he's going to experiment all the way up till the playoffs. Yeah. So this is not over. Now my only question to you, Wells, is doesn't matter. Does it matter to beat the Rockets or Detroit?
When you experiment, you're going to eventually probably find something that works, whether it's next game or the game before the playoffs.
No. What he's doing is he's not necessarily looking for something that works. He just keeps switching it up. So these guys are used to playing with different things. That's what he's doing.
His goal is to have everyone comfortable playing with everybody when the playoffs
in different situations and stuff like that.
But how many guys you play in the playoffs?
Yeah,
they're probably going to play too. And Van Fleet is gone. So Van Fleet is hurt. So once Van Fleet comes back and back to healthy, then you're going to see that bench be much, much better than it is.
I don't know, man, because when he came back last year after being hurt in the playoffs, like he didn't look that good.
Yeah, that's true.
This bench isn't that good. The starters carry
it's all right. It's okay. There needs to be consistency, and I think that's the biggest issue.
Yeah. But the NBA, you know, Smythe, it's all about the starters.
Well, this bench
like you don't like you look at the Golden State Warriors. You don't care who backs up Steph Curry. You know Steph Curry's going to play 40 minutes in the playoffs and done. Like you know that. So if it's the starters have to be healthy, and that's what the naming concern is. Maybe 2 guys come out the bench.
Like I don't need to see Norm Powell in the playoffs.
No, don't.
He's not going to see any time in the playoffs.
The best
that Rockets game looked horrible. He looked like he didn't want to play.
Oh, he didn't. That probably why.
He looked so like he didn't want to try. He was giving a foul so easily, but whatever.
I remember when the Raptors beat Houston last year, and Harden lit up Norman Powell for 40 points. He's just like, but they won, so whatever. What I'll say, the best thing that happened to the Raptors right now is Joel Embiid is injured, which means that the Sixers may not take over the Pacers for 3rd in the conference, which means the Raptors get that easy path.
I think they can beat. I wouldn't even worry about it.
I don't think there's any easy paths. We've seen it before. The Raptors, there's no easy path.
Yeah, well, if you go Brooklyn, Pacers, and then whoever's left, that's the easiest path.
I think I'm in the same boat as you, Wells. It's like they got to show me now. Well, I know that team is gone. That team that kind of fizzles in the playoffs and doesn't give you that
You wanna
all.
see it.
But is it?
But it's still, I still gotta see it.
Let the taste in our mouths, man.
Yeah.
We're still not.
Because I think Gasol and Kawhi are two big differences, but
Mm-hmm.
I still gotta see it.
Old Gasol.
They have to show us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so who are they going to play in the Eastern Conference Finals then, Smith?
I think it's Boston, man.
Yeah.
I think
Well, what
Boston.
happened to the Bucks?
Well, you're not picking the Bucks.
No, I know that. I know that. But you guys were both on the Bucks. What happened to the
I
Bucks?
was, but like I look at Boston. I'm like, yo, if they look like they feel like they're gonna make it in the playoffs, and I hate to say it, man, but I don't believe in Giannis like that. I know he's the MVP, and that's great.
You know, I was going to bring this up, but I totally forgot. You said they should have traded him last year.
Who?
Giannis. You said this last year. They should give up on him.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I totally forgot to bring this up. You said, and now he's the MVP.
Trade him. Can't shoot.
Boston's doing a little Jekyll and Hyde thing going on right now. Didn't they beat Golden State
Yes.
by 30?
Kill
in
Golden State, and then Kawhi doesn't play. Or sorry, Kyrie doesn't play last night, and Gordon Hayward hits a game-winning shot.
Hayward's
And,
heating up, man. He looked good against Golden State.
Exactly what I'm saying. And I'm like,
kinda scary.
if they get behind the fact that he's a major player and let him do his thing, this team might be hard to take out.
Yeah.
And Embiid is not healthy, which means the Sixers are done. Okay.
I think they're done before that.
Well, but if Embiid's healthy, Boston has huge trouble getting rid of them.
And I'm not too. Boston is, like you said, was Jekyll and Hyde. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Jekyll and Hyde.
Jekyll and Hyde. Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, they beat Golden State, and in a week from now they're going to lose to Chicago.
Yeah,
And then they'll
exactly.
right back, and then Kyrie Irving's going to be saying what he's going to say in the media. Like, it's just, I honestly believe, and I was talking about this with Casey. It looks like to me the team's like, we can't wait till Kyrie's gone, so we can actually start
So we
this
can
now.
play.
So we can actually start now.
This team might rally behind Gordon Hayward and be fine.
I think they're undefeated without Kyrie in the lineup, too.
12 and 2.
They're not. Yeah.
They're 12 and what?
2.
That's good, right?
It's not a bad record.
Yeah.
Same record as the Raps without Kawhi. Though. I think the
I-
Raps are like
I-
13 and 3 without Kawhi.
Yeah, honestly, but the thing was with Kyrie, they still have a winning record with Kawhi, the Raptors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
Boston.
Boston still has a winning record with Kawhi,
Barely.
but
Right.
they're not where they're supposed to be.
It's barely.
They're not where it's supposed to be. Yeah. The Blue Jays. How do you guys feel about the season coming up, Wells?
Dude, I'm always excited
Wells.
for the season.
No, go ahead. It's fine.
Okay, go on.
No, that's it. You can go. I'm just saying.
No, go.
Go.
I'm always
You're gonna
excited.
say
I'm always excited for the start of the season. Remember last year we sat here and we talked about if all things can go well,
You said
this
this.
team
I
can
didn't
get
say
back to the playoffs and they can win 90 games.
Yeah, you said that. Nobody else said that.
Is it wrong that I still feel that way? I still feel like, hey man, if a couple things strike well, like the team's younger now, we see how Moneyball works. I just I want to see them do good all the time, man. Just bring me back to reality, Wells.
I mean, there's two ways of looking at it. You can be optimist, or you can be a pessimist, or you can be a realist, right? So there's three ways, actually. But, I don't know. If you go into the season with the mindset that it's going to be a down of a year, then you see, them doing well, and you're you still kind of reserve your feelings. I don't think it's going to be that good. But, for me, I'm just happy to see baseball, right? I'm not expecting much this year, but I want to see progression. I want to see young guys evolve. I want to see them do well. And I think if you see improvements in these young guys, then I think it's a success of a season. I don't want to see I'm kind of interested to see how this new new coaching staff takes over, because I'm already hearing some reports out of spring training of how different they're doing things.
I heard it's a lot more teaching and stuff like that. As before.
I think it's more they've taken the kid gloves off, and they're now instead of just using a fungo and hitting a ground ball to the infielder for infield practice, they're smoking the ball two-handed to the guys, and they're making them play in-game sort of plays.
Shouldn't they be doing that? I think they should.
Well, I mean, anyone who's ever practiced and played in leagues, it's just to get you warmed up,
Yeah.
right?
But I think they should. I don't know. And again, you have to educate me on this. But I think it's get them used to it now, where you're practicing hard, you play hard.
Well,
You practice hard, you play hard.
Yeah.
You never take
practice
time
like
off.
you play.
Yeah, you practice like you play. Because as before, Gibby would the previous coach or manager of the Blue Jays, he wasn't really doing anything. the players would handle the practice themselves. They would get warmed up themselves. They would get ready themselves.
Yeah.
well, most
Now
of
it's
but you also had a more veteran presence.
yeah, they're all stars at that
Yeah.
point. Now you
And
have
so
nobody.
it was kind of like you just let them do a thing. Now you're getting, a lot of no-name
young.
guys,
They're
young
just
guys, and they want to implement right away.
You work hard.
Certain like dynamics and stuff. You wanna like start this new regime off on a good win. I'm excited for that. Like, so I think already you're gonna have this season. It's gonna be different. It's gonna be a bit more grind. Like there'll be a more grindy team, like a gritty team. They're not gonna win pretty if they do. It's gonna be like just
more actual baseball.
Exactly. No more home runs. Like it's gonna be more, baseball oriented, small ball.
I hope they get off to a decent start, because what happens is you put in all this work and then you come out and you flop right from the beginning. Guys don't believe in the system, and then everything goes to hell.
But like, I think like when you have a veteran team like that and that happens, then you have a bad locker room. Whereas I think if you're younger and you fail,
You expect it?
you expect it, but like you can improve. It's always about improving. And so I think this year is all about improvement, evolving, and developing. And I think they have a revamped coaching staff who are going to implement their systems, and it's going to be a different approach. We're going to see a completely different team this year and completely the way the Jays are implemented, and I'm excited for that. Because I mean, like obviously the last couple of years didn't work.
I feel like they're just running it like it's a minor league team.
What do you mean?
What does that mean?
What do you mean?
Just everyone's working hard, trying to get to the next level. Everyone's trying to get better.
Well, there is no other level.
I know, but they're trying to prove themselves. Right? Everyone's playing for
I
something.
think it just means what we just said. Like, just practice hard, and you play hard and stuff like that. Are you worried about? Jeez, what's the kid's name?
Definitely worried about him.
Yeah, very weird.
Vladdy. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Worried about him?
No, his weight.
No, man.
Wait.
Get out of here.
Yo, he's
Like,
big, man.
He's big, but like we talked about this already, didn't we? Like,
No,
or
that
did
was
I
off.
talk
That was
about it
a.
on-
You talked about
Oh, yeah.
horseplay,
Oh,
and
you
you talked
other
about it
friends.
off it with
All
Ben.
your friends.
I just think like it's such an easy we look at things and we're just like we're finding stuff to pick apart about probably the best player
We
we'll
do.
ever
That's
see
what we do.
in the history of the Blue Jays.
That's what we do in sports.
I know, but
You
it's-
find things and pick it
it's
apart.
It's like the Stephen A approach or like the Skip Bayless approach where we just like try and always stay negative and always try and find things to pick at when we should just be appreciating what we're going to see. Yeah, he's a big dude. Like that's not you look at him and you're like, wow, that's a big ball player, right? But like actually I did say this on Horseplay. I said I think Vladdy has never had a home in the last 5 years, right? Like he's been going from minor league system to minor league system, whether it's Dunedin to Lansing, Lansing to New Hampshire, New Hampshire to Buffalo. He hasn't had a solid place to stay. So also he hasn't had the best, I don't know, like a clubhouse to be in. When I say that, I mean like trainers, like chefs, all that stuff. When you get to the big league,
because his grandma's been cooking for him for all time.
I mean that's good stuff. But but I mean when you get to the big leagues, you have state of the art nutritionists, chefs, coaches, all who their life is to make you into a super athlete or a great performer, right?
Did it really help Panda?
It depends on the
I'm
clubhouse.
joking.
But the thing is, when you see guys like Pablo Sandoval, it's like he would every offseason he posts these videos of him like climbing up mountains and like losing 25 pounds. And then what happens in the season? I don't know what happens. He just like lets it go. So that could be the coaching staff. I don't know, but like when you look at this team now, like like I said, they've revamped everything, and they're trying to like make everyone into an athlete first, and to reach their potential. So maybe he gets on some sort of system where he gets healthier or whatever it is, right? But like also he's the way he's shaped, man. Like he's just a big dude. Like
No, he's a big
some guys are big guys.
Yeah.
He looks like Cecil Fielder out there, man.
No, he doesn't, man. You know who he looks like? Vladdy Guerrero Jr. That's who he looks like.
Thanks,
This is his new son, eh?
Yeah.
This is his new son.
It's
This is your new
everyone's
son.
Now,
No, this is your
you
new
know what?
son.
You know
man.
what's funny? He hasn't played a game yet. But so who do you
do you
think?
What do you mean?
Like who do you think's the best Blue Jays ever played?
Oh,
'Cause
you mean as a Blue Jay?
you said Vladdy's gonna be the best Blue Jay ever
Yeah,
played.
he could be.
Wait, actually, he's played as a Blue Jay
Whatever.
in Montreal.
I mean, his actual.
No,
game,
he's
though.
well.
Who
in a
do
baseball-
you think right now is the
professional
best Jay that ever played?
Pardon me?
Hitter or pitcher?
Hitter.
Probably
On
Carlos
Malmo?
Delgado.
I was gonna say, do you think he's better than Del Suado?
Wait,
I
what was the
think
question
he
you
will
asked?
be The best hitter that's ever played for the
Oh,
Jays.
hitter.
Because
Oh, okay.
Vladdy's not gonna win a Gold Glove. We know that, right?
But you don't know that.
No, we know that. Stop that right now. You know that as well as I do. He's not
I
gonna
don't,
win.
man. He's 19.
Yeah.
Really was?
Yeah, get out of here. But so all he has really is being the best hitter ever. Is he gonna? Do you think he's gonna be a better hitter
He
than
has
Del
potential.
Suado?
He has a potential.
Because I love Del Suado.
I mean, Delgado's probably the best hitter we'll always see on this team. And I just mean from like.
Now, when you say hitter, do You mean like big hitter, like
Production.
home run hitter, or
Production.
like just slapping the ball,
Slugging percentage,
hitting like 300?
get up to bat. He hit a good percentage. He hit a lot of home runs. He slugged the ball very well. Drove in runs.
Statistically, he
He
the
was the
best
man.
hitter. Like if you look at all the analytics, like OPS and everything, he's the best hitter.
Because in baseball today, and again, you have to educate me on this, Wells. It seems like those are two different things now. Either you're a good home run hitter or you're a good hitter.
well, it's just the way the league is going, right?
Yeah.
The
There's
three
different
true
stats, though.
outcomes. You're going to strike out, you're going to walk, or you're going to hit a home run.
No, but I'm saying a player. Is there a player with the combination of all their good hitters plus home run hitters
Triple
at the same
crown,
time?
man. Triple crown.
But do those players
RBIs
exist?
is not a stat you should worry about.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a percentage. Yeah, I don't care about that. I don't care about that. I'm talking about is there a player out there that's not striking out to hit home runs and stuff like that?
Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts?
Well,
Yes,
Mookie Betts,
yes. I should.
if you look at his and Alex Bregman, you look at them. They don't go up trying to hit home runs. The way that their launch angle is, it just happens because what you do. And then we're gonna get really analytical here and really like nerdy, but like there's so much technology now in baseball and like equipment being used to study how to get better. So when I say that guys like Mookie Betts, you look at him, he's like 5'9", 180, right? So how is he hitting like 35 home runs? How is he hitting the ball so hard? How does he throw the ball so hard? Well, like it's all about when the ball meets the bat, at what speed, at what angle, and what speed it's coming to you. That's how baseball's shifting towards now, right? So, I mean, you can look at a guy like I don't know, Adam Dunn or like Prince Fielder, and why they hit so many home runs. They're big dudes, right? And they make contact, and the ball goes far.
Well, hit hard.
But there was no like, okay, well, if you swing your bat at this angle and the ball's coming at this angle, and you hit it at this part of your bat, you know what I mean? Like those are things we have to focus on now. So like you look at guys like Alex Bregman, you look at guys like Jose Altuve, you look at guys like Mookie Betts. They're not big dudes. But the way they connect the ball with the bat,
it's precision.
yes, it's more. So that's I don't know if that answers your question.
no,
but
I was just
Do you
asking.
think Barry Bonds had that same kind of precision just early?
Yes,
Yes.
he did.
Because
he had it his whole life.
Barry Bonds
Because he was always a good hitter. It's just when he took steroids and became like this power hitter.
No, he was
what
always
he
a
did,
power
John.
hitter. He was always a power
he
hitter.
always hit 40. He hit
Well, I mean,
40.
the power hitters like up into who was it? McGuire that he was like, oh,
Yeah.
there was always that rumor. He went back into the dugout and he's like, man, McGuire's gonna make me have to do this now. Like I have to start taking steroids now because this guy's just slapping the ball.
Smacking it out of the park.
Yeah,
But I mean, like, because Barry Bonds, I'll be honest, sometimes he just like clouded that balls and he didn't look like he got a lot of it at all.
Yeah, it was easy for
And
him.
that just carried over the
yeah,
fence.
but it also depends on. Like now, you're gonna see it's all gonna depend on launch angle. Launch angle is gonna be a big hot word you're gonna see this year.
Oh, it was a big word last year.
Yeah, I just mean like exit velocity,
yeah.
launch angle,
The only guy-
barreling. These
the guy
are
I
terms
watched-
you're gonna hear.
Giancarlo Stanton
Well, he's different,
would-
man. He's
would-
a huge dude.
Oh, he's like 6'6" or something like that.
touched the ball.
Him and Aaron Judge too, right?
Yeah.
Aaron Judge just extends his arms and
Yeah.
it's gone. And that's another thing too is extend your arms. It's how you like a lot of these guys too. These smaller guys, look at the size of their legs. Most of the power comes from your thighs, right?
Yep.
Yep.
So
No,
it's just
Just actually the concept of swinging the bat, right?
yeah,
You hit it
it's,
at the right
it's-
angle, it's
well,
gone.
well, swinging a bat and connecting, it's one like giant fluid motion, right? And that's how you generate power. So these guys are more. They're not going out there swinging for home runs, but they just happen to do it.
Say it hard enough.
The Jays could finish third in the division.
They could finish.
They
They
could.
could finish fourth. They're not going to finish last. There's no way.
No, that's the Orioles.
Yep.
Depending how the Rays come out, they could finish third, which is basically a standard for the Jays. It's
Yeah.
pretty much they finished third in that division.
But,
Dude,
I mean,
they had a small window. That small window was those
Yeah.
2
Yeah,
years
yeah,
where
yeah.
the big boys were retooling, and now they're back.
didn't last very long.
No, it's rough, man.
But the Rays always suck.
But I mean,
And the Orioles don't even know what they're doing. So
the Jays have a really good farm system, a top five farm system. You're gonna hear a lot of new names, a lot of guys, a lot of sons of former baseball players
Yeah.
will be on this team.
that's crazy. I think that even in sports in general, that it seems to be a lot nowadays.
well, what are the
Sons
kids
of
supposed to do?
this and
What are they
sons of
supposed
that.
to do? What are the kids supposed
Well,
to
back in the day, like in the '90s, that wasn't a thing. Like Michael Jordan's son, he wasn't good at basketball.
No,
But now
but he got
it
scholarship,
seems
though.
it seems like it's
but like,
becoming
I'm
more
not
prevalent.
talking about like Ken Griffey's son is playing on the Jays
Yeah.
or anything, right? Like we're talking about like just random like Dante Bichette was a good player and now his kid's playing and
Whatever
like,
happened to what's his name? Son was in the system.
Roger Clemens.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Is he
still in
still
the
there?
system.
Oh,
do?
okay.
Just deep. In
Do you know if he's good or not? No.
He's not good.
No.
He's
Okay.
like 24 and he's still an A-ball. So,
Oh, okay.
but
I remember this was a thing a couple years
But I
ago.
mean, this was the same approach they had for Craig Biggio's kid, Kevin Biggio. No one thought he'd be good, but now he might be a September call up this year.
Nice.
So
Nice.
I'm really excited for the progression of these players. I think that's the biggest thing we should look at this year. Don't look at the record, but look at how well the players develop and how much they improve. I think that's the biggest thing we need to take away from this.
Are you
season.
going to the same amount of games as last year?
I'll go as many as I can. I'm playing less baseball this year, so I'll have more opportunity.
You're playing less baseball.
Yeah, man. I'm getting old.
Are you bringing me in for the team or no?
I don't even know if that team's actually happening, to be honest.
He was very excited about it. Smythe was very
I don't know.
excited.
Can I get a run, bro? Can I get a run?
I'll
totally joking.
I'll let you in, but like I don't know what's happening with that team, to be honest.
March 20th?
March 20th.
March 20th, baseball starts. So tune in next week.
Yeah, that's the Japan series.
We're not gonna.
I mean, that's
No, well, I'm just saying that's.
I mean, that is real games. But
Yeah.
like, that's March 28th is opening day for
Yeah.
all teams.
So tune in next week. We're gonna have our baseball
Oh, wow.
prediction show.
Really early.
Nice.
Baseball prediction show. So next week, tune in, guys. Maybe we'll get somebody else in here, so at least Wells has somebody to talk to.
Yeah, because
I want you guys to do some research this year. You guys have to watch more
I
games
wasn't
this
here.
year.
Remember, I wasn't here last time. Remember, it was you, DeFeo, and Smythe
But-
saying, "I don't know." Literally, I don't know.
I need you guys to start watching more games this year.
it's hard, man. Baseball's hard to watch.
No, it's not. Man.
It's not. You just don't want to. Just say, you know what? I don't want to. It's
But
summertime.
You don't
want to be
watch it
outside.
either.
I know, but I'm going to admit to you, it's summertime. I don't want to, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try for you. All right. I'm going to try.
That's what you said last year.
I watch some baseball. It's hard to like
The
sit through a
Jays.
whole
We
game.
watch the Jays.
No,
It's hard to watch
I
National
watch
League.
other teams. I like
Yo,
seeing
I'll basically watch the division. That's I'm not
think
gonna
I-
lie to you guys. I basically watched the division.
No, I feel like I've been to a few games. It's a game in Denver.
Jays.
It's a game
Oh, in Denver. Oh,
a
you went
game
to-
in Arizona. Won some games. I was around, man. I saw some parks.
You guys went to a game. There's also no hitter, right?
No, you
Arizona?
gave it up in the ninth. Remember?
Oh yeah, I know. I said almost.
yeah,
No hitter.
yeah.
I was like, what are you talking about? That Colorado? No, I thought you were talking about that Colorado game.
Oh, there's no hitting.
All right, so tune in next week. All right. Any other teams in Toronto you guys want to talk about? FC?
Nope.
Those
They
guys, are,
suck.
those guys are finished.
No,
that was
they won,
quick.
they won last week.
So
Do you think they're going to compete for a championship? Do you think they're going to make playoffs?
Oh, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You said they're finished, but they won their season opener last week on the road.
you know what's funny? I feel like they'll be back in the playoffs this year. After that CONCACAF.
Well, they got rid
thing
of
ended
they
so
got rid of their
fast.
well, they didn't get rid of the GM left. Got rid of their best player,
Was he their best player?
I didn't like Jamenko. I never liked him.
arguably his best player.
He scored
Okay.
the most goals.
He
but
did score a lot of goals. I was
I always
very
thought,
happy.
I always
with
thought
that.
Altidore was their best player.
I feel like
Oh, okay, arguably their best player.
no, there's some
One or two, whatever.
Anyway, he was one of their top players, and now he's gone. But I think the CONCACAF early exit helped them.
Yeah.
Because last year,
Now you can just
after that
focus on
was
the season.
yeah, well, after that was done, I feel like those guys were burnt out. Like they were too good for the MLS.
Wells woke.
Finally,
Wells woke.
I got two this week.
Sweet.
Maybe one. I don't
are
know.
we letting him do two?
I'll do one if you want.
I'm
It's his
joking.
segment,
I'm
man.
joking.
He can talk how
Yeah, you do.
he can do whatever he want, man.
All right, I'm just gonna sit back. Get my popcorn ready.
So this week we're going to talk about Toronto sports media.
Oh my god, we just
Oh, my favorite topic.
Mostly. I mean, we're staying with Toronto. Mostly
Toronto show
on
this
the
week.
on the radio side.
radio side.
So I don't know if you guys heard about this, but something happened that is huge that hasn't happened in a long time. The ratings came out for the month of February for sports radio from the 4 to 7 hour, which are like the flagship shows, right?
So that's like Bob McCowan.
Bob McCown versus TSN Overdrive. TSN had the most ratings
What?
in that month.
What?
So-
Bob McCown can no longer say that, eh? The most listened to sports talk radio. He says it every time.
Just took that off his show.
Now, in general,
Now he's had this title for like I don't even like
Forever.
40 years. So I don't even know.
forever. So now, in general, Sportsnet still clobbers TSN throughout all
Yeah.
of their radio programs. But last week was big for TSN, or sorry, last month was big for TSN. Not only did they destroy Sportsnet on the trade deadline show, which is crazy considering like how much money
they throw-
Sportsnet
the
put
amount
into
of money
it.
they throw in there.
But it was, I believe the ratings were like 5-1 were the dominance for TSN in that. Wow. But this is huge news for TSN, like to beat Bob McCown in the 4 to 7 hour, and it's also showing that people are done with Bob McCown, man. Like they're,
I think Bob McCown was done with Bob McCown.
yeah, I think so too. But like it's just a bunch
Bob,
of,
like over the last couple of years, 3 years, 4 years, he's mailed it in, and I can tell.
yeah, he's mailed it in, but like and they keep bringing in like he never used to have co-hosts. Now he keeps bringing in
Yeah.
co-hosts more and more and more.
He's mailed, like he's ready to go.
and
He's-
they're starting to feel the heat, and it finally happened. And I mean, I'm glad because Overdrive is probably the best show in Toronto radio right now.
I tried listening. I don't really like it. I'm gonna give it another try because you and DeFeo keep telling me to listen to
it's
it.
great.
I'm gonna give it another try.
And it's deserving to take over. And I think it's showing like no one wants to hear about these old man's opinions anymore.
To be clear, is just radio or TV as well?
This is radio.
It's radio.
Well, I mentioned two things: radio from the 4 to 7 hours. TSN Overdrive had more listeners than Bob McCown did, but then also TSN Trade Deadline Show had 5 to 1 more viewers.
Yeah, but I mean, Bob McCowan's on TV 4 to 7 as well.
That's
Yes.
Also,
So,
wait.
I'm
But
just
Tim
talking
and
about
Sid is
radio.
also at the same time.
Yeah.
So I think Tim and Sid outrates him on TV.
I'm just talking about radio
Yeah.
in general, like
Okay,
radio
so you're not talking
listenership.
about- okay.
Like
I don't even know what's on Ford for that minute. Did they put Overdrive on?
Overdrive's
TV?
on from 6 to 7 on.
No,
TV.
they put it on TV.
Overdrive's on from 6 to 7 on TV.
Oh,
I
okay,
think
sorry.
1 hour.
Sorry, I cut you off and you did say it.
Yeah. That's a
Literally
question. I'm
cut them
trying to
off.
answer it.
Say it.
So I just think it's a sign of like how we want to who we want to listen to now, and like we're kind of getting old of the old white dudes
I
like
definitely am.
talking about the same crap. Like, but I know Overdrive's a bit more hockey centric, which made
A lot more hot track.
yeah. But I mean, you're looking at the panel. It's two guys who played in the NHL and a guy who played in the OHL. Is the third
I think
guy.
that's why I kind of like, because I was listening to it. And they threw in some football because I was listening during the football, but it was so much hockey. The thing I do like about Bob is he brings on lawyers to explain things in sports.
Sure.
He brings on guys to talk about technology. There's so many other things he talks about, not just the sports. But again, if you watch Bob McCown, you can tell he's just. It's just I'm going in there to do a radio show, and that's it. There's nothing.
This is my job.
This is my job, and he jokes about it, and he
Yeah.
always joked about it. Like I'm done after this contract. I don't. Who knows? But whatever. He just seems like he's melting. I'll give Overdrive again another
should
go around.
get on the bandwagon.
I personally am a Bob McCowan guy as well.
Are you?
And like Bob McCowan's the one.
When you say you're a
person-
Bob McCown guy, what do you mean?
Like he's the one guy I'll turn on.
How
at
much-
4
how often do you
o'clock,
listen to?
And I'll let it play while I'm working or doing stuff on
Okay.
the side. And the reason why is because he just, and it's probably because he's established so much.
Yeah.
Like he'll talk about something and then have like the GM come on or someone will phone in or whatever.
No, everyone does that.
His knowledge of basketball is very poor.
If you ever listen to radio
Sucks.
shows, you'll look at TSN says Kyle Dewis is coming on at 5:30, but he was just on
Yeah.
Sportsnet.
They do
Yeah,
it rounds.
yeah.
Like they do their rounds. It's all like that. But I think Nash is right. He does bring in more like
Other people outside the box.
like people who kind of hammer out some information that you may not have known.
Like he has that lawyer that comes on every so I like that guy.
Yeah, it's cool.
He
But
tries
then
a
he
lot of
also
hot
brings in
takes.
like all the old guys like Bob
Yeah, no.
Ryan
Yeah.
and like all these old
don't mind
people.
It's an old boys club.
You know what's good about the old guys? What I like is the stories.
Yeah.
Their opinion maybe not, but I do enjoy the stories of like.
Then you would like Overdrive because that's all it is stories. Like they just talk about their time and like
I tend to like the old school stuff. I like the stories of how it used to be and stuff like that. I don't know. What's that other old guy he brings in? Who had a heart attack on Bob McCown's show?
he had a heart attack on the show.
No, yeah, he did. He actually did.
Yikes.
I don't know.
Oh man, it's one of his old friends. He's another guy who likes betting and stuff like that. Oh well, you know what I'm talking
Whatever.
about.
No, I haven't listened to
yeah.
Bob McCown in.
You've heard him.
You know
100.
what,
percent
you
You've heard him.
should-
He's like one of his old friends.
Just go back to Bob McCowan.
No man, I like Overdrive. I look forward to listening to it. I'm at work and I just put it on all the
I
time.
don't think you're saying Bob McCown's bad. It's just
No,
He's getting old.
he's getting old.
Like
He's old.
literally and figuratively. Like he's getting old.
Like he always
He's
have
getting
John
boring.
Shannon on there, who's like this NHL apologist. The NHL can do no wrong in his eyes. I'm like,
And I will give a little shout out to Rogers. They did finally hire a female.
jeez,
to
man,
work on the
Come
radio
on,
morning
man. Wow, I turned it on in the morning. Like, what is this? A female? Wow.
Ashley Docking is now on the morning show. That's the first time I've ever had a woman on,
Hey,
like,
man,
on
they-
a show like established,
Yeah, I
not
don't
know
like
what
filling in.
station that is.
What?
Rogers Morning Show
Fan 59.
590. You said you listened to Bob McCowan.
on TV. I don't.
Oh, on TV.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I turn on sports.
And then I have another Wells Woke. I don't know if you guys want me to go into it.
Yep.
go on.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Come on, man.
First one was great.
It's more of a shot at Islander fans.
Oh, come on, man. Really?
What?
Go on. Just go on.
Hey, yeah, give us your opinion. Okay, I just want to talk about it. Oh, really?
Give us your opinion. Hey,
I just
shut
think-
up.
I just think they shot themselves in the foot, man, with how they treated Tavares last week.
Pajama boy?
Yeah, first of all, I don't understand that because it makes no sense. There's no picture of him in pajamas. He's just lying in his bed sheets, which were Maple Leafs. So I don't know why they call him Pajama Boy.
Shout out to Fail.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think like they
They ruined it for themselves because what free agents are going to want to go sign there now? After the way they treated.
Why not?
Why? Why would you?
Because if I was a free agent, I'd be like, I want to play here. You
Why?
just get a quick...
And then when you leave, what happens?
Who cares?
They throw snakes and
So-
jerseys
First
at
of
you?
all,
So what?
anyway, continue, World. Continue. Is that
go
it?
ahead,
That's
go
it.
ahead.
First of all, NHL players don't leave. He's the only one that does leave. So if you're going to go to Islanders, you stay in the Islanders. Whatever. Who cares? Second of all, you know what it is. He left in free agency, but that's the fans' right. You get the boo.
Oh yeah, hey man, I don't mind the fact that they were very spirited and they booed him. I don't mind that, but when they showed the tribute video and they just drowned it
Why
out
did they
with
do
boos,
that? Why did they do that?
Because why can't you just for 2 minutes appreciate
what he did for your team.
for that sad franchise?
What did he do?
Here's-
How many times did they make the playoffs? Once.
Here's
Tavares on?
Why is it? It's not his fault. Who's with him? Who's his?
And now without them, they're in the playoffs.
Here's what I'm going to say.
I know, but like that's who they bring in. They bring in a good coach. They bring in a new GM.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm going to say. What other regular season game had this much hype?
I don't know. You tell me.
None. There was nothing close to that
Yeah.
game. And every second, when that game started...
Really? Because it wasn't.
Yes.
It wasn't on NBC.
So, that's their problem. They couldn't get it. That sucks for them.
They are the rights. They have the rights to
Like,
that-
it's not,
that,
it's not anyone else's fault.
That game was huge.
For them.
Yes,
for them.
and
That's
they
it.
got a great win, and they came out and they booed like people boo villains when they come back.
Sure, and I have no problem with them booing him leaving them.
throwing stuff and burning jerseys. It was great.
That's ridiculous.
It
The
was
burning
great for
jersey.
hockey.
The burning jersey thing is like
Like
that's
throwing
over, man.
stuff at him. You don't need to throw stuff at him.
Wait, they threw stuff at him? They didn't throw anything at
Yeah,
him.
they threw snakes when he was warming up.
Yeah.
They threw
Oh, yeah,
rubber
yeah,
snakes,
yeah,
and they
yeah,
threw
they
a
were bad.
jersey at him
It
when he
was-
went into the locker room after the warm
No,
up.
it's
I
kinda,
mean,
those people should be kicked
It
out.
sucked for him, but he knew it was coming. I'm sure he did not expect a standing ovation because there are videos saying that everyone hated him in Long Island.
Oh, the video was a joke.
So he went there and
Sorry, you meant he was not going to expect it. He expected this.
yeah, he
When
didn't
you say
expect a standing
didn't
ovation.
expect- Okay.
No,
they
right?
should have at some point taken the time to appreciate him. Like remember when Sandin came back for the Leafs? Like after he got traded.
He got
That's
traded
different.
though.
That's different. That's
Listen.
different. Yeah, I'm sorry.
What happened? They booed him.
Yeah.
But when they had the tribute to
They
him,
cheered him.
they stood up there for 5 minutes and cheered him
Yeah.
because they recognized how much he meant to the team, the organization, what he did. And he never, Tavares never did anything bad in
got traded.
New York.
We're not New Yorkers.
They
We
got traded.
Toronto. Boos,
They're not New Yorkers. They're Islanders.
I know, but Toronto boos Sandin because he's not a Maple Leaf anymore. And
Yeah,
they're upset.
but that's
when
fine.
it's time to,
But they appreciated him.
exactly. But that's
That's the whole point I'm trying to
yeah,
make.
but that's not New York. That's not New Yorkers.
Hold
It's
on.
ridiculous.
Toronto
So
booed-
anytime anyone leaves that sad franchise, they're going to boo them.
Yeah, man.
What's sad franchise? The Islanders?
Yeah. Sad.
Toronto
Sad
booed
franchise.
Vince Carter.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, he
Toronto
wanted out.
booed Chris Bosh.
yeah.
Yeah.
They
And
left.
look
The
what
same
happened.
thing.
No, it's
But
not.
they
man.
all know, 'cause
No,
they all
Vince
got
Carter.
tributes.
Vince
They
Carter.
left.
You can't bring Vince Carter into the same conversation as any of this because he wanted out and he forced his way out, and that's different. He didn't want. I'm not Duncan anymore. I have a bad attitude. I don't want. And he admits he was an idiot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Tavares did nothing bad. He didn't say he was
just
going to
didn't
come back.
sign.
He didn't sign back. He said, "Yeah, I'd like to stay here." I'm sure he wanted to. Like, why would you want to leave? You said yourself, players don't leave. But then something happened. He's like, I don't know where I'm going to play next year. Am I playing in Brooklyn? Am I playing in Uniondale? Or wherever this crap stadium is?
We saw that awesome Leaf team, and he says, "I'm going to go play over there."
Well, they're probably
I
like,
don't
hey,
know.
look, man, you could play beside Mitch Marner.
Yes.
And he was like,
"Thank
I'm
you,
gonna
sign
do
me
that.
up."
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
look, Austin Matthews on his team too. We have a really good goalie. You guys don't have a coach. You don't have a stadium. Where they play half their games an hour and a half away. Where do you
And
live? Like, where are you going to stay?
He didn't say any of that when he left. And
He doesn't owe
that is
anyone
class.
anything.
Oh no, when you leave in free agency, you don't. Which is what we talk about LeBron James all the time. But you thought it was horrible that he left. But anyway,
What?
He didn't say that. Wells never said that. He's talking about Kevin Durant.
same thing, free agent.
LeBron had a TV show stating where he was going to go.
Yeah,
He's
that
an
was,
idiot.
that was,
He
a, that
embarrassed
was a dick
Cleveland.
move.
And also raised $2 million for the Boys and Girls
Yeah,
Club.
but you know,
Oh.
no one talks about that.
Nobody talks about that. I'm just putting out the facts
You're
because
right.
nobody talks about
You're
that.
right.
Yeah, but you didn't need to make a TV show to tell everyone where you're going.
But he raised $2 million for the
and
Boys and Girls
slap
Club.
Cleveland in the face.
Who cares? They suck.
Oh, but he
This is-
donated.
Hey,
here.
hey, when
'Cause
Tavares-
he lives there.
When
That's where he's
Tavares
from.
posted that picture with that Leafs blanket, slap.
But he did it
New
after
York
he signed.
fans in the
Did
face.
it though? Because he gave them
Well,
9 years of his life that he can't take back.
Hey, they gave you the response that they had, right? So obviously, it was slap
And
in the
again,
face.
this is what I'm saying. It's okay to boo. It's okay to jeer. It's okay to be worked up. I get that.
Throw
but
snakes and throw
but there
jerseys
should
and
have
burn
been
stuff.
a point where they were like, you know what? thank you very much.
Maybe next time.
No, it's not going to happen ever again. But like, thank you very much for all your service and you know, for giving other guys so much money for playing on your wing. Like, thank you very much for all that you did here, putting us on the map. Or what, I didn't put him on the map, but like, he was their best player for 9 years.
He was.
Look at the guys he played with, Kyle Poso. Like, you know what I mean? Like, these guys.
What's
Oh, they still
What's
have
wrong with
nobody.
him?
I'm joking. I'm kidding. I'm
They
kidding.
still have nobody. You know what? I get it. I get your plight, but
So I don't know, man. Like, and now no one's gonna go want to sign in New York.
I don't know
because
about
any
that.
free
I don't know if
agents.
that's true.
No
I
one's
don't know
gonna
if that's
re-up. Their captain won't re-up next year. You think he wants to stay there? No.
I don't know if that's true. They're hockey players.
Well, they're hockey players, and then they look at that and they're like, I don't want to play there.
I
think
think-
anyone ever got up to go play in New York? Like,
I think someone's gonna jump in and sweep the
and I
team
think,
off
and
their feet
I
in
recommend
Euro.
everyone listen to. There was on the Spit and Chicklets podcast. Sean Avery went on against a fan from the New York Islanders and just ripped into him and was like, "You guys are pieces of shit, basically, for doing what you did to him." But all the
don't
points he
wonder-
made were true.
I don't know, man. I feel like
He was saying like no one wants to go play there. No one wants to.
No, well, they're the ugly stepchild, redheaded
Stepward?
stepchild, whatever.
no New York.
They're the second team in New York. No, obviously no one's going to play
They're
there.
not even in New York, man. They're like
Whatever.
an hour and a half. Like Philadelphia's closer than it
They're
is.
probably like the third team in New York, which is kind of weird that the New York area has 3 hockey teams.
I don't know, man. Like they're crap, and they should have. They had a chance to like save face a bit by cheering for him, but they didn't. They chose not to. They're crap.
I'm not cheering, bro. Especially when my team's better without him. I'm not. There's no
I mean,
way.
that's another thing. Yeah, you can say like we
There's
don't
no
need
way
you.
I'm
That's
cheering for
fine.
that guy.
Those are fine chirps. You can do whatever you want. But
And
like,
they killed them too. It's perfect. It's a perfect.
it was
night.
great for them. Yeah,
It's a perfect
That's
night.
it. That's the only thing that's gonna happen
I
all
don't-
year.
And they beat them when they were here too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
smoked
they
us.
smoked them both times.
Good for them.
Yeah, good for them. And even if they are better without him, they should appreciate him for that. Then
Yeah. Boom. Okay. Boom.
Throw snakes. Hit him with a snake in the head.
yeah,
Good Wells luck, though. Good Wells luck.
yeah, whatever.
Hit him in the face.
Yo, both of y'all go to hell. All right, so now we're gonna go move on to the next thing. Something we've been teasing for what, a year now?
You've been teasing it for a year.
I've never heard of you tease this.
We've always been saying this.
You've been saying
Every
this
time we
for
bring
a
this up,
very
I'm
long-
like, yeah, we got to do a segment on
I
the
can't
worst,
wait- I
the
can't wait for you
worst,
to go in and just start roasting teams.
the worst franchises in sports. Now this can be any sport you guys want.
New
Nothing in
York
particular.
Islanders.
Nothing in particular. Smythe, you want to lead us off?
Philadelphia 76ers.
Ooh.
This process. They wanted you to believe in them losing for 10 years so maybe they get enough draft picks to get good.
Didn't it work?
Maybe, because this is the first year they'll be okay.
Well, they got Embiid, and they were in the playoffs.
Let the man
Okay, all
explain.
right, all right, let's go ahead.
So this year, when they're supposed to be good, they traded up for the first pick, selected Markelle Fultz, who they ended up just trading to the Orlando Magic when they could have had Jason Tatum. Then they went and they got Jimmy Butler, who they admitted is a problem with the team, who shouted at the coach yesterday, who was trying to get him a game-winning shot against Chicago Bulls, his former team, fails miserably. Then they go and get Tobias Harris. Now, 4 players they potentially would have to sign. One signed already, right? Embiid's got the deal. Simmons does not, right?
Simmons is on the rookie deal.
So Simmons has 1 more year in his rookie deal because he didn't play his first year. They can opt him in after the third for a 4th year.
Which
So
they always do. Every player does.
he would be the odd guy out technically if you re-up on both Tobias and Jimmy Butler. So 10 years of you trying to build a team, you may have one of the players that how many 8 you drafted. Sarek is gone. Who's the defense? Covington is gone. This franchise is going to return to tanking within the next 4 seasons.
4 seasons.
Horrible franchise.
Well, if they're going to re-up on those guys, 4 seasons. That doesn't make sense. If they're going to re-up on those guys,
I don't think they are. That's what I think is going to happen.
well, they said they were. Embiid's going to sign.
Embiid's already
I'll
signed.
give you...
signed.
Huh?
Embiid's already
Every-
signed.
Yeah,
Embiid's
Embiid's
signed.
already signed. Ben Simmons is going to sign. They're going to max out
Simmons has
Tobias
2
Harris or Butler.
Or none. You don't know what they're going to do. You don't
Well,
know-
they said they were.
those guys might not sign. You can say whatever you want. What if they don't want to play there?
Tobias Harris probably re-up. Now, as far as the historical stats, yeah, I'll agree with that. 76ers haven't won since 76?
6?
Something like that.
But like
When's last time?
the last time they were decent, they had Charles Barkley, and they've been tanking ever since.
They've been a joke
Unbelievable.
since. They had so many like high picks too.
Yeah.
Like, remember Jalil Okafor? Whatever happened to that guy?
Yeah.
He was okay. Like, he played a long time in the league, but he was just like
Long time in the league. Jalil Okafor?
Oh, sorry, Jaleel. I was talking about the other Okafor. Was it the Mark Okafor? Sorry.
Yeah, the real.
Yeah, where is Jaleel Okafor?
I don't know. They at one point they drafted 2 centers and just had them playing
Remember
together.
Nerlens Noel?
Yeah.
They had like 3 years in a row. They drafted like Noel, Okafor, and Embiid, and like okay.
Now, my only counter to that is, this is a system. So if you're mad at the tanking, don't hate the player, hate the game. That's the way you get better. You have to tank to get better. They did. They got their draft picks. Now, they bailed out on the system when they fired their Morey and then took on Colangelo, worst GM. And I think the team you're looking at right now is because of Colangelo, not because of Morey, because he had a plan and they kicked him out
Yeah.
before
They just lost a couple more years.
So, in that sense, I think you might be right. Now, even if they do max out on these players, how good are they? So, even if they max out, that's probably a bad decision
Yeah.
on these 4 players.
No matter
That's probably a
what,
bad decision.
they wasted 10 years. No matter what you say, and they told us to trust them losing for a decade. That's a poor franchise if I heard of one.
That's good. That's a good one. I can agree with that. Yeah, you've convinced me. You convinced me. Because if they do max out, that's a bad decision, in my opinion. What else? You want to give us the next one? You got a few there.
I'm gonna go Miami Marlins
Ooh.
/ Florida Marlins. Now,
Yes.
Now,
That's classic.
Now, some people might be like, "Hey, Wells, what about those 2 World Series they won?" Yeah, they won one in '97 and 2003. That's cute. That's nice.
That's cute.
what about the 29 other seasons they've had? What about the way they treat their fans? So when they won those World Series champions, what did they do? They gutted those teams, tossed them
what they do.
aside, and they were
That's what baseball does.
No, that's what they do. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what they did. No other franchise treats their fan base poorly, I think, than these guys do. So anytime they win, they just gut it and they're like, "Okay, well,
Gave you one.
we don't care about you." Yeah,
You gave you one.
the new stadium they have, publicly funded, so the fans are paying for that too, and no one goes there. No one shows up there.
Did they move that statue yet?
It's gone this year.
Oh, okay.
That eyesore in center field, that's gone.
Do they have a pool? Is that the stadium with the pool?
No.
Oh, okay.
Recently, Derek Jeter became part of the ownership.
Yes.
What'd they do?
Got that.
They got rid of
Got that team.
John Carlos
Carlos
Stanton,
Stanton.
who won the MVP that year, traded him. They got rid of Christian Yelich, won the MVP last year for the Brewers. They got rid of Marcelo Zuna. They got rid of JT Realmuto. They got rid of D. Gordon.
The
Anyone
Pirates.
who was ever an All-Star, gone.
To make sure.
Can you
it's
even
empty.
name a player on their team right now?
No.
No.
Think about it for a sec, can you?
No.
No,
Okay.
no, I can't. Because the biggest name I knew was Stanton. And I was like, okay, no, he's gone.
He's gone. Yeah, they're terrible, man. Like they just, I know they won the 2 World Series, but they just treat their fans like poo.
Yeah.
And I think they deserve a spot on this list.
Well, the fans do speak out because they're saying we're not going to go to this.
They don't go.
They don't go. No, they're like,
They don't.
You don't
And
care
like,
about us? We don't care about you.
After all those MVPs they traded, they only had one player. Well, sorry, they just made the trade for Miyamoto, and they got another player in the top 100. So they have 2 players in the top 100 MLB prospects this year.
Hey,
After all that,
better than nothing.
but they had one up until they traded Realmuto.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
That's good. I like that.
That's a good call.
I don't know if you guys are tired of me talking about this team, or you're like, yes, going on them even more. The Edmonton Oilers. Edmonton Oilers, they're founded in 1972. They have 5 championship rings, mostly in the 80s. The last time they won the Stanley Cup was in 1990.
I feel like they have 6.
No, they have 5.
Gretzky has 5, and they went without Gretzky, no?
No, Gretzky does not have 5. He has 4. Over since what I think it was like 2010, they've had 4 number 1 draft picks. Taylor Hall, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Yakupov, Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid has seen 4 coaches.
That's crazy.
He has seen 3 coaches, not 4. He has seen 3 coaches. He will see 4 next season. This franchise, just since that Gretzky era, they have no idea what they're doing. And again, those 3 coaches that Connor McDavid has seen has not reemerged back in the league. So they're hiring guys that the rest of the league has saying,
Doesn't
no,
want.
we do not want them.
So they have Hitchcock now. They had McClellan before. Who was it before that?
I had to listen. I didn't write it down. Sorry, you can quickly Google that.
Does it matter?
No,
I'm
it does.
kinda
It does.
interested to
It's
see who it
kind
was.
of.
Yeah. Who was the first guy to get McDavid and get fired?
Pardon me?
Who was the first guy to
He didn't get
Connor
anyone
McDavid and
fired.
He
I
didn't
don't
get anyone
understand.
fired. He's not getting anyone fired. It's just
It's the
they're
GM that gets him fired.
recently fired their GM. What was I going to say about this organization?
just
They
made 46.
built a new arena.
Remember that year they made the playoffs? They thought things were going on the up and up.
Yeah, they really milked everyone for that.
Yeah, the NHL though, man. 1 year you're great, and next year
That's the way the league can construct, because you can basically point to every year and point to a team that's like, yeah, this team made it and they're going to go far, and then
look at the Devils.
nothing.
Look at New Jersey. But you know
Devils,
what?
Colorado,
We knew New Jersey wasn't going back to the playoffs this year.
no. So Edmonton Oilers. I've talked about this team on the podcast all the
That's a
time.
good
This
pick.
is one. This
There's
is
no
one
way.
of the worst franchises in sports.
Absolutely.
Period. You go next because Wells is still looking
Yeah.
some stuff up.
I got
Todd Nelson was
Todd
the other
Nelson. It's a good call.
Who's the other one? Who's the other Nelson?
Sorry?
Sorry, who's the three coaches? It was
Todd Nelson, Todd McClellan, and now it's Ken Hitchcock.
No,
Yeah.
please go. Let's.
There's another one in there.
But in 10 years, they've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 coaches.
Hey, every other year, or not even every year.
Wow.
Carousel over there.
And they have arguably the best player in hockey.
Arguably,
No, he is the best player in hockey.
You know what?
Well, you can say Sid.
I feel like
between
no.
Sid and Sid.
I feel like it's time to be like the torch is passed. The single best, most talented player is Connor McDavid.
I'm not ready to give it there, but that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
I understand. I understand.
Sid is just there, just there to me.
Sid is just barely in the playoffs right now. So
He's in the playoffs right now.
barely. I said.
Don't worry about it. They'll be in there.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's fine.
Let's take it to the NFL. The Buffalo Bills,
Ooh,
1995 until now. How many times has this team made the playoffs?
once.
And that was last year.
Yeah.
And what did they do with their quarterback when they made the playoffs?
They got rid of him.
Just these guys have Marshawn Lynch. Got rid of him. Stuck with Shady.
That was before. You had Marshawn Lynch before he went to Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
They drafted him. Doug Flutie was a quarterback for a while. And the thing about Buffalo is they have a loyal fan base. Like, I go to Buffalo to watch games. They love their Bills.
Oh, yeah.
And they play
And they always will.
they play in a very tough division because there's one team. That last 20 years, it's technically it's almost exactly when Tom Brady showed up.
Yep.
Like, right? So, I mean, but poor decisions consistently. They have the second best defense in the league last year. And no one talks about that because their offense was so bad that they couldn't put anything together. These guys don't know how to work with their strengths, if that makes sense to you, right? When you have a solid defense, like the Bears, for instance, solid defense, what do? Right? They cater towards that, game manage, whatever. What was Allen doing this year? Allen's trying to throw long balls. He's running the football, trying to make big plays when he should be a game manager at this point in his career.
At this point, he's a rookie.
Well, same, right?
At this point in his career.
Well, at the point, you can't take over games.
He wasn't
He's
even
not
supposed
that
to be
guy.
the starter.
No, he was not. But who was supposed to be the starter?
Peterman.
Exactly. And who was his backup? They got rid of the backup. Who's the backup?
McCarron.
Yes. Who would have been a better starter? AJ McCarron would have been a
he
better
been?
starter.
I don't know, man.
It's true. You had no time. But they just, and it's constant. The start of this year, I knew this team was going to falter. I knew they had no quarterback. Who was he throwing the ball to? Name a receiver on the Buffalo Bills this year. How do you put a team like this together?
Zay Jones.
Right? How do you put a team like this together? They've been bad for a very long time. It's going to continue. They are a bad franchise. I don't know who you could fire or whatever, or who else has to die to get this team to win games.
You know, last time they had a championship,
They never had.
not in the NFL.
Not in the NFL.
Not in the NFL.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Yeah. Last time they had a championship is 1965.
1965.
And
But
that
I
was-
mean,
that was
well,
before the
no,
NFL.
they went to 4 straight Super Bowls, which
In the 90s.
unprecedented. Those were good football teams.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, they've been a bad franchise. So I can't be like they've always been a bad franchise.
Don't have to.
They had a good run.
On this list, like we've all shown, you don't. Even if you have won a franchise, doesn't mean it's a good.
No,
sorry,
yeah,
if you won a
yeah,
championship,
even if you
doesn't
won.
mean
Yeah, yeah.
Because we've named teams, we've named franchises
Yeah,
that
they've
won.
won championships just lately.
Except for
they've
the
been-
the Marlins won. Yeah, the Marlins won. Yeah, we've named. Yeah,
Wells picked the only good team, basically.
Historically? No, the Oilers historically.
Oh,
were
the
better.
Oilers, man.
Yeah, I guess.
But I mean, recency, like the
Yeah.
Marlins won in 2003. It's not too far off.
No. Well,
What else? You want to take the next one?
Yeah, I'll stick with baseball. I'm going to do the Montreal Expos / Washington Nationals.
Did you have that one?
So the Montreal Expos came into the league in 1967, and in 2012 they converted to the Washington Nationals. For 2008, I think it was.
Yeah, technically they were the first Canadian
No,
team.
2005. Sorry. Wow. Anyways, up until 2011, so from 67 to 2011, they had only made the playoffs once. And,
Really?
And that was in a strike-shortened season
Yes.
in 1981. Now, a lot of the Expos fans will be like, what about 1994? And when they had the strike-shortened season and they didn't have playoffs, and they were on pace for 105 wins.
Yes.
Other than that, nothing.
That year would have been epic because everyone was thinking
Toronto,
Jays,
and
Expos.
they would have blocked out the World Series. Apparently, you could go to bars right now that have every World Series champion, and they
Yeah, in
just
the States.
skip 92 and 93.
Yeah.
No, it's... Oh, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, for Toronto, for the Blue Jays.
But not only that, they just weren't a successful franchise. I don't know if you guys ever, when you were growing up watching TSN, they would show Expos games, and how no one would be in that dump of a stadium.
That was
Dump of a stadium.
What was that Olympic Stadium?
Yeah,
They
Olympic
had
Stadium.
to lose that team.
I mean, you watch now when the Jays play their exhibition games there, and you're like, what? How did anyone ever? Because they haven't updated it.
Yeah, well,
It's a piece of trash stadium.
yeah. Why would they?
And the location of it's in a crap location too.
Yeah.
But this team was notorious for developing stars and getting rid of them.
It's a lot of baseball. I feel that's a lot of baseball
No,
teams.
I'm just
Yeah, but they
just
particularly
saying,
bad. Yeah,
these
yeah,
guys grew a lot of players that turned into some were Hall of Famers. Pedro Martinez, they got rid of him. Vladimir Guerrero,
Vladdy.
got rid of him. Like Moises Alou, like all these like stars, and they just ditched them. Mm-hmm. And no one would come. These guys one year were getting 5,000 people into a stadium, which is insane. I went to a game. I've been there once to watch a live game, and it was 1997. And I remember this because I actually got to see Tony Gwynn.
Ooh.
And that's why I remember, because I was like, oh, I'm going to see Tony Gwynn. Because you never really saw Tony Gwynn much when you were a kid because they didn't have West Coast games. You played for San Diego.
San Diego.
No, San Diego. You're thinking of Kirby Puckett.
Yes, I would.
But so I was so excited to go see him. We were on a school trip, and part of the school trip was to go see the Expos. And I remember going to the stadium, and I was like, oh, yeah, like all I've ever seen is Seattle and Toronto. So I'm excited to go to the stadium. I got in there, and I was like 14. I'm like, this is a dump. This is a dump.
At 14, you knew it was a dump.
At 14, I knew it was a dump. I went into the bathroom, and I think there was like a homeless person in there.
hanging out.
They didn't kick him out the night before or something. It was like you walk around the stadium, it was like a tomb. Like it was so quiet.
No, I'm just a GM. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it might have been. Yeah. And you know what? Once they left Montreal, it didn't get much better there. I know they went to the playoffs with the Nationals. So 2005, they turned into the Nationals. And this team, you know, every year after like 2011, they started beefing up. Drafted Bryce Harper. They got all these guys. And they could never win a series.
They have
the
two
playoffs.
teams in that city that every year, now it's ended for the other team, but every year it's, this is it. They're going to win. They're going to win. They're going to win. Because they've had one of the best teams in baseball for the last, 3 years? 4 years?
Yeah, I mean,
And they're supposed to have a World Series, at least appearance.
well, last year was the year they thought they were going to put it all together, and they barely made 500.
Man.
And
That's
now,
good.
now they lost their superstar Bryce Harper, and I don't know, man. That franchise is just cursed. They're never gonna win. Even that city, man. That city's crap. Other than winning the cup last year, like even the Wizards, like what have they done?
Well, they suck.
Thank you for the transition. Thank you for the
Look
transition.
at that, the alley-oop.
Staying in Washington, are we?
We're staying in Washington. The Washington Wizards. Founded in 1961 as the Chicago Packers. Changed their name to Chicago, moved to Baltimore where they acquired the Bullets moniker. Came to Washington where they were the Capital Bullets for 1 year. And then they changed to the Washington Bullets, now the Washington Wizards. The Washington Bullets have their own history as, and in case you guys didn't realize the story, there was a lot of the city of Washington had a lot of gun violence. They were rated or whatever the most dangerous city in the States. A lot of gun violence.
Really?
And to cap it off, you had Gilbert Arenas coming to the arena and putting 2 guns down on the, because he had a beef or an argument with another player, putting 2 guns down on the table and saying pick one because he was going to shoot the guy.
I mean, he probably wasn't really going to shoot him.
He probably wasn't going to shoot him, but at the same time, you can't be bringing 2 guns into your thing.
It was highly unprofessional.
And that was the time where they're like, you know what, maybe we should just change this from
should-
Washington
shouldn't be
Wizards,
excited.
from the Bullets to the... No, I think they actually changed it before. I'm not really sure. Anyway, sorry. So this team has, I don't know, for the last 5 years, they've always said to be the next one in the East. Remember when they went to the conference finals, I believe? When they beat the Raptors. The Raptors have now overtaken them. They signed John Wall to this super max of a deal, which instantly, as soon as the ink was dry, damn, what did we do? $40 million this guy's going to be getting. Another interesting stat for you guys. In the last 40 years of the NBA, only 2 franchises have not had a 50-win season.
Oh.
The Bobcats/Hornets, which were founded in 2004, and the Washington Wizards.
Washington Wizards. That's a good one.
This team sucks.
These guys are trash.
And you know they sucked when they bring in Dwight Howard to try and fix everything.
Yep. Hey,
When a team brings in Dwight Howard to try and fix things,
you know it's not going well.
you know it's not going to go well, and you know it's going to go down. Like, this team basically does not like each other. You always heard Gortat would beef with John Wall. Beal would beef with John Wall. Otto Porter would beef with John Wall. You notice the common denominator is John Wall. So, another losing Washington team. They only have 1 chip, I believe. Yeah, 1 chip. One in 1978.
That doesn't count.
So
Wasn't a real year.
that's the only championship they have on this
That's good.
on the Washington Wizards. So the Washington Wizards, they suck.
I was gonna try
Horrible
for the
organization.
Washington trio, but the Redskins don't suck.
The R words.
Sorry, whatever. So I'm staying in the NBA.
Well, they do suck now, but they haven't sucked for that long.
No, historically they
haven't sucked that long. Yeah.
They're a decently run franchise. So we're gonna take it to Minnesota and talk
Minnesota?
about the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The Minnesota Timberwolves suck. I guess they're not an old team. They came into the league in 1989, so they weren't. But is their first identity Kevin Garnett? Is that safe to say?
Yeah.
The Kevin
Yeah.
Garnett, Wally Zerbiak,
Well, sorry, when they come in
Wally
19 sorry, when they come in
89.
19, okay.
Garnett,
yeah.
Zerbiak, Stephon
Sam
Marbury.
Mitchell.
Yeah, Sam Mitchell.
Oh yeah.
So their first mistake was giving Kevin Garnett all the money, which scares Marbury out of town. I'm
a
not sure what happened
different
was
different pay structure there. A different pay structure there because then there was no cap and whatnot. So you basically had a budget and they gave up.
They didn't pay anybody else.
Nope, they did not.
I remember Kevin Garnett at an interview crying about how they can't win. I'm like, well, you took all the money. What do you think's going to happen? Of course you can't win. Anyway, they move on from Kevin Garnett, and they have a couple seasons where they are the worst team in the Western Conference at 17 wins, and they bring in Kevin Love.
Which is a decent player. He's put up numbers all the time.
Absolute monster. Still can't get over the hump. So after 4 years, instead of re-signing Kevin Love, they give up on him, ship him off to Cleveland, and they bring in...
They got John Wiggins for Love.
They got Wiggins
They also drafted Karl Anthony Towns.
because they were trash, because they were still trash.
Yeah.
And now with Towns, they made the playoffs one time.
But who did they bring in? Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, they brought... Oh, yeah.
They brought in Jimmy Butler, Tom Thibodeau,
They brought in this...
which basically
Chicago
ruined the
Bulls.
team again.
Thibodeau's out, right? These guys don't make the right move ever. I don't know how else to say it.
Ever.
And I've never-
Their owner's a wacky owner. Like
They've
he's
had
one of those
a
Well,
trade-
even sorry, to cut
Okay,
you
go on.
off,
No,
but
go on, go
even
on.
more recent, they traded Zach LaVine.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Well,
right.
that was part of the Jimmy Butler trade.
Yeah,
look who's
true.
flourished in Chicago.
Yeah, but Chicago sucks. So like, him
Well, Zach
having-
LaVine's still playing well there.
Yeah, but he's having a good game for a crappy team. Who cares, right? It's not like they traded gold for. But if Levine
How do you
was
know?
still there,
They could have let him evolve.
I would have kept Levine.
Yeah.
Why would you make that trade anyway?
They thought
For
Butler
Jimmy
would-
Butler, yeah.
for Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, but what's his name is just a crappier Butler. Wiggins.
Wiggins is just a crappy Wiggins.
I mean,
He's a Templar.
these guys have had lottery picks after lottery pick after lottery pick, and they can't build anything with it. And you take a look at a team like Oklahoma City, you give those guys 4 lottery picks and they build a super team. And these guys can't do it with double the amount of lottery picks.
Well, their ownership's bad. Their owner's one of those. He's not very highly publicized, but he's one of those wacky owners that just does stupid things.
He doesn't do anything. What does he do? He makes no decisions.
Well, he's the one that gave Kevin Durant all that money.
Well, the GM, like they sign a contract, right? I don't know.
Sometimes in these teams, it's not necessarily the GM. It's the owner coming down and going,
walking out, like,
hey,
I want this guy.
I want this guy. Get this guy no matter what. I don't care.
Right?
So,
Oh my god, they
what?
Charles Sprewell, Sam Cassell,
They've had players.
Joe Smith. Anyway, they suck.
That's a good one. That's a good one. You got any more, Wells?
Yeah, I got one more. The Arizona Coyotes,
Yeah, they suck.
formerly the Phoenix Coyotes, formerly the Winnipeg Jets. But I'm only going to talk about the era of when they moved to Phoenix.
I got a question after you've done this.
Phoenix
Go on.
Yeah.
Go on.
I mean, success-wise, there is none really since they moved there. Well, when they moved there, they actually were a consistent playoff team.
Wasn't that was their? They had 2 or 3 years.
No, they like for the first. I think it's the first 6 seasons they were in the playoffs.
Jesus.
They were in the playoffs 5 times. Now they didn't get anywhere out of than the conference semifinals, so they didn't really make it far, but they were competitive. After that, not much to say.
Didn't they hire Wayne Gretzky right after that?
Wayne Gretzky was in like 2006, 2007, I think he came in. And they had like Brett Hull too come in and play.
Jeez.
But the main thing here is this was like, you want to talk about like step brothers and like the redheaded stepchild? These guys were exactly that at the NHL. They were $245 million in debt in 2009, and no one wanted to buy this team. So what happened?
Did the league take them over?
League came in.
The league came in and they took over this team. And I mean, like they tried to sell it to anyone who had money and wanted to take them.
Nobody wants it in Phoenix. Nobody wants it in Phoenix.
And well, here's the thing: people wanted it, but no one would let Gary Bettman take him out of Phoenix.
Yeah.
So it's like people were like, "Oh, Jerry Reinsdorf's like, yeah, okay, I'll take him out. We'll put another team in Chicago."
Apparently, the reason is Phoenix is a good TV market. Apparently, that's the reason they want to keep it in Phoenix.
So, I mean, I'm going to say eventually I think they're okay now. Like, I don't mind what they've done. They ain't winning. They haven't won anything in a while.
They have a lot of draft picks. And they have cap.
Yeah, but like, I mean, like when I say they're winning now is like, I understand what Bettman was doing with this team, and there is an actual market now in Phoenix. So like when I say that, I mean like there's actually leagues now, like of like kids growing up and playing in Phoenix.
Because of one kid that came out of there?
Well, I mean, there's one kid that came over there was a fan of the Phoenix Coyotes or Arizona Coyotes and Austin Matthews, right? But I just mean like the whole thing, I don't know if this, like, it doesn't happen that much in sports where you go bankrupt and no one wants to, the league runs the team. What other team? I think New Orleans. Yeah, in basketball.
Yeah.
Other than that, like, that's
well,
a joke.
It's happened before, like way back in the past. But yeah, now the modern sports, it's unheard of. And says what kind of a joke you are, really.
There's always a billionaire, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, now they got bought by a new group, and they haven't even sniffed the playoffs since.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like I said, at least, like when we're talking franchises, this team has always been a joke, too. Like, even when we still talk about them now, everyone always, like, chuckles about, Arizona, Phoenix, right? Like, they'll never, like, you never even think about, like, how successful the franchise is.
I think it's Gary Bettman's stubbornness to keep them there. Because he views, if you move teams...
I get what he was doing. Like, I understand.
But at some point, you got to go... No, okay, stop. I gotta stop.
Yeah,
because all they're doing is collecting checks from the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yes,
revenue sharing. That's how it works. That's all they're doing.
New York Rangers, Montreal, Toronto Maple Leafs.
That's all they're doing. So I'm like, at some point, you just have to go. Because in my opinion, Gary Bettman, move teams so you get everyone healthy, so they're not a burden on the thing. Just move them.
But
you can always come back. There's always teams that want to move. You can always come back.
I think what he's done. I mean, when he moved teams to like Tampa and Florida and like Anaheim, like the game has grown. There's a lot more American players in the game now, a lot more.
Yeah,
and not just from like Minnesota and Buffalo. They're coming from like LA.
No, there's a lot from California. There's a lot from California.
Oh, it's tons.
I'll give Gary Bettman. The teams in California, they're flourishing. They're good. They have a good fan base.
Like players are coming out.
Players are coming
out of Florida. Jack Hughes next year is going to be the first pick. He's coming out of Florida, right? Like,
but as a business, just Phoenix.
I know, but the
Coyotes aren't. I know.
We have to look at the balance.
Longevity of the game.
We have to like look at like as much of an eyesore it was to see a team being on Craigslist The team was put on Craigslist, and so that's what I mean. It's a joke. It's a joke of a franchise.
Now-
But, like the wealth of the game in the long run, I think it was a great.
I
good
think
idea.
that in 5 years, we're going to say Gary Bettman did a good job for hockey.
Well, he's in the Hall of Fame.
So?
He's done his job. He's expanded the game. He is in the Hall of Fame while
know,
he's still
but-
a commissioner.
It's
a joke, man.
He put himself in
I
the
know, it's
Hall
great,
of
it's great.
Fame.
It's great.
crowning achievement.
It's such an old white man move.
It's
But-
so
He has done good for the NFL. As much
much
as I
as
rate,
you wanna crap on him?
crap on him all the time. There were owners going to prison before he got there. Yeah, man. I'm not even joking. I'm not
Well,
even
there
joking.
was a fake owner in New
Yes.
York.
Yeah.
The Spano guy who didn't have any money, but he owned the team for like a year.
Guys were literally going to prison before he got. He has cleaned it up a
Brilliant.
little bit.
I just think that things I don't understand yet is like even though they have expanded in those markets, is like it's still not a nationally televised sport. Like they still haven't gone on any of the big networks. Like I know NBC will show the Stanley Cup Finals and they'll show their afternoon game on Sunday, but like this like any other sport has like games on ESPN
Well, apparently they're gonna have a bidding war for the next.
I hope, man. I hope it expands more
I
because
doubt
I
it.
feel like
I want it to expand because it's my favorite sport. That's why I rip on him so much. It's my favorite sport.
it
But
your
plays-
favorite sport's basketball.
It plays
It
the
is not, it's
exact same time as the NBA, and if you're a TV network,
Yeah, I know. I get it.
right? It's 10 times the viewership. You can't even think.
no,
about
but
showing it.
but in a world of content, we need content. Fox Sports 1 said no, we don't want them. They don't have anything. They don't have anything.
They'd rather have a guy talking about Trump.
No, Fox Sports. No, that's the sports channel.
I know, I get it. That's my whole point. They show the NHL.
Rather than have hockey on there, they would
rather
say no,
have-
thank you. We're just gonna have nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
That's all right. Well,
anyway,
they suck.
they suck.
I just mean,
They really do.
We're talking about franchises.
Yeah,
I
they
think
do.
that whole bankruptcy thing and like no one wanting to buy them was like a
That's a
big
good-
eyesore for not
Yeah.
only them but the league.
That's a huge one. They suck.
And people still like talk about it, right? Like they still like what a joke franchise.
Yeah.
San Diego Padres.
What?
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Founded in 1969. Absolutely no World Series to show for it.
No. They've been to one, but
Sniffed it.
Really, since Tony Gwynn, what else has his team? Who else has his team had?
Trevor Hoffman.
Trevor Hoffman. He's
who's a Hall
also
of
there.
Famer.
Yeah, he's also there too.
There you go.
Have made the playoffs since 2006.
Yeah.
I think they do have the record for the worst record in MLB history. 2005, 82 and 80.
No, that's a good record.
That's a winning record.
Yeah.
I apologize. when I was saying it, I was like, "Oh, that's not right at all." I must write that. I must have wrote that down wrong. I'll have to look that up again. Sorry, guys. They are the only
What is the
team.
record now? What season was it?
I think it was 2005. Worst record in MLB. Look that up, please. Sorry.
No, that's 2005. They were 82 and 80. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. They probably had a bad season somewhere.
I don't know. Yeah.
Or maybe I just wrote it down backwards. They are the only team in baseball without a no-hitter.
Yeah.
Oh, that was sad because we were at and he almost had one.
Yeah. Tyson
Not
Ross.
hitting 2 outs.
Now, to be determined on this team. This is what I'm going to put on this, to be determined, because Wells is saying that they got some up and comer guys. They just got Manny Machado,
They do have the best farm system in baseball.
the best farm system in baseball. Up and coming guys. Sign Manny Machado, the guy who said he doesn't really want to hustle. Whatever.
Now we're just digging.
I'm just saying these guys are historically probably what would you say historically one of the worst teams in baseball? Period. Wells.
Period.
Yeah, they're not good.
Yeah.
Not
This
good.
is it's like the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Well,
of
they've
baseball.
never had a decade where they've had a winning record.
Yeah, it's like the Cleveland Cavaliers. Like no matter what they do, or the Cleveland Browns of baseball, no matter what they do, is just
Trash.
just numbers, law of averages.
Yeah.
At some point, you would have to have.
Yeah.
You have to win. You have to.
Yeah, this is more of a consistency sort of.
They're consistently not
They're consistently
great.
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never winning.
Not a good team.
So
They had 47 wins in 94.
Yeah, but that's a shortened season.
there's another. I throw that one in there for the one of the worst franchises.
All right, I got one more, I think. And you already mentioned them, Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, well,
That's
I mean,
easy.
how can we not mention the Cleveland Browns?
But here's the thing. Let's not. I want to go to right now why they're bad. Okay, so after 2 horrible seasons, you put together a decent season. You got Baker Mayfield. You have a good pick. You put some talent around the guy. Okay, you have a decent running game. Your team starts out okay. What happens right away? Baker Mayfield falters a bit. They're looking at Tyrod Taylor. What do? They change the coach immediately. Okay. Season ends. They just missed the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
By a game?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Half game. They just missed playoffs by a half a game. The team is in a good place. What's the one thing you can do to screw that up?
Be the Cleveland
Change
Browns.
the coach.
Be the Cleveland Browns.
Change the coach.
You go sign the one player that your whole team
Oh, yeah.
cannot get behind. Right? If you want to mess something up, go get the one guy that your locker room's going to be like, ugh, we shouldn't have done that. And they sign Kareem Hunt. This is a bad franchise. They just don't understand the concept of being a winner.
Since 1990, they've only had 3 winning seasons.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Made it to the playoffs twice. Only won 1 playoff game. They left in, I can't remember when it was, and went to Baltimore, but then they came back in 1999.
yeah. For 2 seasons?
Might have
Anyway.
been something like that. I can't remember.
They suck. They suck. And even when they were about to be good, I think next year they're going to suck again because that locker room is not going to be happy with Kareem Hunt stepping in.
I'm gonna promise you this right now. There's gonna be a lot of people that say they're gonna win that division. A lot of people, and maybe someone in this room.
I just want to go over some of their first round draft picks, and just stop me. Stop me.
When they get a good one?
2012, the 3rd overall pick, they take Trent Richardson.
Yep.
Okay.
First of all, that wasn't a bad pick when they took it.
Okay. Now this isn't the worst pick they had in the first
Yeah.
round. They had the 22nd overall pick too, and they thought they'd take their franchise quarterback, Brandon Weeden.
Yep.
Brandon Weeden was a 28-year-old senior in Oklahoma State when they drafted him. They thought they could bring in a 28-year-old rookie to win. 28 years old.
It's so bad.
They drafted him in the first round.
He would have been available in the
2004. Johnny Manziel. Trash. And we've all seen the jersey.
Yep.
The jersey that has every quarterback in the history.
Since 1999, they've gone through 28 quarterbacks and 9 head coaches.
Yeah. They finally got one that's going to work for them.
They left in 1996 to Baltimore. The worst organization of the Super Bowl since since they've been relocated. Yeah.
Just reading off the sheet.
Yeah, they suck.
Oh, you can probably just go on. You can probably have podcasts and help.
Doesn't matter what they do. Like I don't understand. And like the one time you had like I was like, oh, you know what they're gonna be, and they went and made the biggest PR mistake, and the incident happened in Cleveland.
You know what, though? Every time I've gone to a game there, I've had a great time.
The fans are a loyal bunch.
I went on Christmas Day. I didn't have a good time. It was not good. I went on Christmas Day.
Yeah,
It
it's
wasn't
really,
a
it's
good
really
time.
cool. on Christmas.
You went to a game?
Yeah,
Yeah, but you don't like cold.
that's also true. That's also true.
You're like,
But
touche.
The stadium was half empty, and it was late in the season too, right? So
And they're already 1-14 by the time.
that was a year. The game I went to, remember that was a year that they hadn't won a game up until that point, until Christmas Eve.
Right.
I was secretly hoping for a loss, but I couldn't say it out loud because I was scared I was going to get beat up. You
might.
And they won the game and they ruined my Christmas.
I'm gonna beat you up.
They won the game and ruined my
You're
Christmas.
bigger than anyone in that city, too. I don't know why you're afraid of anyone.
You got any other teams, Wells?
Nah, I mean, I had the Browns, and then you can throw in the Detroit Lions, too.
Oh, that's a good one.
But I think we've kind of
Yeah, I
nailed
feel like we nailed it.
I got one.
Oh, you got one more.
It's not going to be popular in this room.
Oh, here we go. It's going to be Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yes.
No, you know what? We're not.
It's not going to be popular in this room.
go ahead,
That's what I
go
said.
ahead.
It's not going to be popular in this room.
You know what? Go ahead.
They haven't won a cup since.
They haven't. Founded in
Go ahead. Let's go.
founded in 1917 as a Toronto Arenas.
Wow.
13 Stanley Cups. Last time they won a Stanley Cup, 1967.
Yeah, we know.
They got 13 cups though, bro.
Yeah, well,
How long ago was that?
in a league where there were 6 teams. Oh, but don't the Canadians have how many Stanley Cups?
25.
They'll tell you that.
25.
When they were also all won. When there
They've
was, like,
won a
6.
Stanley Cup every decade except for the last 2.
Except for the last two.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Smythe. Remind me again when's the last time the Leafs won?
Okay.
Remind me again when the last time the Leafs won? Oh, 96. Okay.
Except for the last 2. Since 1994 or 93.
They're Leafs.
The Habs fans always grasping on to those championships.
Not my fault. It's not my fault they're one of the greatest franchises of all North America.
I want you to keep going. No, they were.
No, historically, franchise in North America.
Historically.
Okay, anyway. We can probably put the best franchises that said they'd be number 1. Last time they made it to the conference finals, 1994.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got screwed.
I don't know if they got screwed. They lost.
High stick on Gilmore.
Risky slash guy in the face.
Yeah, well, they lost. If you're worried about one high stick, then you weren't that good to begin with.
Sound like
This is a big thing from me. If you have Doug Gilmour and Wendell Clark retired up in your rafters, 2 players didn't win a damn thing. Mm-hmm. Why are they up there?
Because they were
great
good.
Leafs.
They didn't even make Stanley Cup.
So
Great Leafs.
Matt Sundin didn't make
Sundin's a
anything,
big-
and
yeah,
he's up
Sundin's
there.
a good-
Exactly.
And you won't see anyone argue that.
Exactly.
So
I don't know.
in order to be a retired up on the Rafters,
win
you have to
Stanley
win something.
Hey, you guys want to make fun of Montreal? Go look at all the jerseys up there.
How
They've
many,
all won
how
Stanley
many
Cups.
Derek Fisher retirement ceremonies have there been in LA?
Derek Fisher.
How many Robert Ory ones?
Derek Fisher.
How many
Stanley
championships
Cups
does he have?
Carey Price have? How many Stanley Cups?
No. Hold on. If you're saying
not
that
talking Carey
you
Price. Carey
have
Price should
to,
be up there.
are you saying that you have to win a championship to be
In
honored?
my eyes.
Okay, so
yes.
how many times has Derek Fisher been immortalized in LA
Well, that's not.
for all the championships he's had?
Yeah.
Okay, what about Robert
Hold on.
Ory?
But
Robert
Sha-
Ory has 7 championship rings.
Yeah, but Kobe's up there.
Yeah, Kobe is up there because he's one of the greatest basketball players of all time.
Yeah,
Seeker?
because he won.
I know he won, but he was also
saying-
really good at what he did.
Hold on, you're saying anyone who won should have their jersey retired?
But that's what you're saying is if they haven't won.
You know what this is? This is a classic flip. What you said is that you have to have a championship to be honored.
In my eyes.
And Wells is saying that everyone with a championship then should be honored. These are 2 completely different statements.
I don't understand what you're talking. Yeah, why did no?
Because you're saying, okay, in order to be recognized on the Rafters, you have to have a
A
championship.
great player who has a championship.
Oh, so you have to be a great player
Now-
with a
Now I've
championship.
changed the
Okay,
rhetoric.
now you've changed it.
But the point is that you just made that point just to win this argument.
I'm just saying, like,
I was like, what are you talking about, Derek Fisher?
But, like,
What does he have to do with anything?
like, so okay, when you go to Utah, will they ever? You saying they shouldn't immortalize Karl Malone? They shouldn't have his jersey retired up there? How about John Stockton? No, they shouldn't.
Not my eyes.
Wow.
Are you
Not mine, man. Not mine.
state that?
You know what?
Yeah, not mine, man.
And you know what's funny?
Not mine.
Now he's just trying to make a point now
No,
to
no,
win
no,
his
no,
part of
no,
the
no.
argument.
Hang on.
man.
As a Montreal Canadian fan, if they put Carey Price up there without a Stanley Cup, no, thank you.
Yeah, but
thank
you just said Carmelo and John Stockton.
Yeah, they don't have a championship.
All right, cool.
They do not have a championship on their resume. Great players. Now,
Charles Barkley in Phoenix.
Sorry,
Yeah, Charles.
sorry. I should amend that a little bit.
There we go.
Oh, here
They
we go.
are really, really good players. Because what is Karl Malone second on all-time scoring?
Yeah.
Stockton is first in assists, I believe.
Yeah,
all
by
time.
like a million.
But they didn't win
Yeah.
a championship.
First
They
of
didn't
all,
win a champ, but those are great. What has Doug Gilmour and Wendell Clark done?
I don't know. Doug Gilmour had a 123-point season.
Is that the most?
it's a lot of
Ever?
points.
Is that the most?
Oh wait, so
Ever.
now you're changing. Now you're changing it.
No,
Karl Malone is
I-
not the most points ever. Why would he be? Now hold on. John Stockton also leads NBA all time in steals.
Yes.
No one talks about that.
I understand that. See, now you're listing off great achievements that they've done. What has Wendell Clark and Doug Gilmour done?
They were great players when they played here.
They were Leafs.
They were the best at the time.
Do they are the best? Are they the best of all time? Do they have the most scoring? Do they have anything?
Those are just numbers.
Doug Gilmour wasn't even on an All-Star team when he was
Those are
in the
just
Leafs.
numbers, man.
Doug Gilmour was never on an All-Star team when he was on the Leafs.
With 123
never.
points, he probably
Yes, he
played in the
was.
All-Star team.
No, he never did. Not on the Leafs. Not while he was on the Leafs. He was on the All-Star team, but never as a Leaf.
We're gonna look up the year that he scored 123. He clearly was an All-Star that year.
Not as a Leaf. He's an All-Star, not as a Leaf.
Anyway,
You've gone down a road you cannot do that.
case in point, John Stockton is one of the best point guards of all
I
time.
understand that. Now,
127 points in 92-93. 111 points in 93-94.
Is that the most ever?
No,
For one season?
No, it's not the most.
Is that the most ever for one season?
Is that
No.
as Maple Leaf?
As a Maple Leaf, those are no. Oh, 127. Yeah, I think it is.
And he went to the All-Star game that year, obviously.
I'm looking it up, guys. Keep talking. Keep
NHL
talking
reference.
bad about them.
NHL reference talking. Now, the last two I said, San Diego and the Montreal and the Leafs, to be determined.
Oh.
Because as of right now, you think, yes, they finally, after that whole teacher pension type thing, after all that, they finally seem to have gotten it right. To be determined.
I think
To be determined. Because this Maple Leaf team, and I've told Wells this, I like this team.
Yeah.
I wish this team does well, because maybe that will change how hockey is played for the whole league. I wish this team well. I really do.
But here's the thing. I feel like you can't call the Leafs a bad franchise
They
because
are.
right now they have it right.
What did I just say?
I know.
No,
to
you
be determined.
no, because I said
What
like,
did I just
even
say?
in Phoenix they're changing things.
Yeah,
right?
that's
Like,
what I
Yeah,
said.
but are they in the playoffs this year?
no. Well, they're racing for it.
But hang on, have the Leafs changed anything yet? No. All they've done is made the playoffs. That's
How
all they've
many
done.
years in a row, though?
3, if you count this year. But that's still not a good franchise.
Okay.
Wizards made the playoffs.
They're
Buffalo
not-
Bills made the playoffs last year.
But that's one in 20 years.
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
Well, the Leafs missed the playoffs how many times since 2014? Once?
Since 1994-95, that team, they've only made the playoffs 4 times.
But 2014, 2016.
no, they've
17,
only been in the playoffs 3 times since 2004. The Leafs
14 last year, this year?
Sorry, say that again. They've only been in the playoffs.
No.
since 2004-5 season.
Yes.
The Leafs have only been in the playoffs 3 times.
14,
14
17,
last year and the year before.
16, 18. Okay, so for...
Well, we can't count this year yet.
Yeah,
because it's not
well,
over.
they're in. Come on. Okay.
Wait, isn't that what I said? That's exactly what I said.
What?
Yeah, sure.
That's exactly what I said. Yeah, since that.
No, you said since '94.
Yeah, since that Doug Gilmour team, they've only been in the playoffs 4 times.
No.
2000.
No, dude. Do you remember the 2000 they played Ottawa 3 straight years? You're missing that whole.
Sorry.
part.
Yes. Oh my God.
Just do 10 years away.
And also, Doug Gilmour was an
Sorry.
all-star in 2 seasons with the Leafs.
Thank you.
In 92, 93, 93,
I
94.
feel like you can't call him a bad
He was the
franchise
Hart Trophy finalist in 2000. Sorry, 1993.
No, I know he's had a good season. I just didn't think he was an all-star. Was Wendell Clark?
Wendell Clark,
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't know. But like I don't
just
know,
like-
man. People
we
want to
just
retire.
really like Wendell.
People want to retire people's numbers. They can go ahead. There's gotta be
Hey,
a
they can
reason.
retire all they want. Maybe I just have higher standards for it. You can
Yeah.
retire all you want. That's fine. Again, as a Habs fan, if they put Carey Price has the most wins as a Montreal Canadian goalie. If they put his jersey up there without a Stanley Cup, not to me.
I mean, they're not
Wendell
winning.
Clark, 3-time All-Star with the
3-time
Leafs.
All-Star.
Yikes. They're not winning a Stanley Cup.
Who? Montreal
Montreal.
Canadiens? I know
With
that.
Carey Price.
I know that.
He's not a Stanley Cup.
I know that. I never said they was. I never said they
He
were.
will have his jersey retired
And
he has
I will.
more.
And I will boo it.
because he has more wins than Patrick Waugh.
And I will boo it. He has more wins. Anyone? Dryden. He has more wins than Dryden.
That's my whole point.
He has the most wins.
I like Dryden, but like Dryden's on Patrick Waugh.
Look, you know what I'm going to say?
Yep.
I don't disagree with you on this.
Thank you.
On the Leafs being one of the
Leafs.
worst franchises.
Thank
I
you.
disagree with having certain players immortalized because I think that's fair.
Fine. Whatever team wants to do. I'm just saying, for me, that's what I would do. That's just my preference to. And guys, people are going to retire jerseys, whatever they
Yeah,
want to do.
but
Whatever.
That's aside. That's fine. But I think that we shouldn't call a franchise a bad franchise when they're currently
Look, do you know
doing
how
the right
bad?
thing.
Like you're kind of missing out some points too. Look how bad it was from 2004 to up until when Shanahan took over. How bad that team was.
It was bad.
How long does the rebuild take the NHL?
I don't know. It could
Like
take
10
a
years.
year.
You said 10 years.
No.
And how
We've
long did
agreed
it
to
take?
10 years. How long did it take to get to this team?
How long did it take the Leafs? 10 years.
How long did it take to get this team? 10 years.
Yeah, but
over
like,
10 years.
But like, how long did it take for him to be successful when Shanahan took over? 5 years, less than.
Yeah.
Like the year that Austin Matthews was rookie, no one thought they'd make the playoffs.
Oh, you're talking with certain regimes. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. But look how long it took him to find Shanahan. That's what I'm talking about.
Also,
From a team
also-
is successful to when a team is successful
To
and
the
you get
rebuild
that,
to back
to
successful
rebuild
again.
back to being successful, it takes close to 10 years because you have to find that person to build the team.
And the Leafs took the
It
same.
only
think
took
I-
Shanahan a couple years
I
to do it.
think times are changing now where the younger players are more impactful.
Yeah. Well, this league is getting
Also, you're missing the whole 80s with Harry Ballard was a terrible owner. Okay.
Yeah, he's a lunatic, that guy.
Patrick Marleau, would you retire his number in San Jose?
Yes.
No.
Okay, your theory is busted.
No, that's fine. This is just my standards.
Yeah, okay,
Eh,
all right.
Hey, will San Jose retire Marlowe's jersey?
They should.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Will the Raptors retire DeMar DeRozan's jersey?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Would I retire their jerseys? No.
Okay.
No. No. Unless you are crazy, the best, like Karl Malone, John Stockton.
Oh, so there are exceptions.
There are
He said-
exceptions.
he admitted to that. He admitted to that.
Unless there's something like you stand out above every other player, statistically or play wise or whatever. That's the only exception to me.
Carey
me.
Price then.
No, because he's not even he's the best of this era, but he's not the best of all goalies of all time. He's just the best.
Well, he's got a lot to.
Yeah, he's just the best in Montreal.
How many times won the Vezina?
Once.
Once.
Well, he won the Hart too.
Yeah.
For a goalie, that's pretty crazy. I think he should have his jersey.
I feel like I'm retiring.
He will retire his jersey. They are going to retire his jersey.
Yeah.
I'm not even disputing that. They
just
will
saying-
retire his
you're saying
jersey.
you wouldn't like it.
I wouldn't like it.
He's done a lot.
I was kind of iffy about Patrick Waugh
He won a championship.
too.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, man. You're all over the place with this. Like, I don't get it. It's like these guys are okay, but these guys aren't. Stockton Malone, okay, yeah, they get a pass because they broke records. But, like, Doug Gilmour, he was an all-star.
No.
No, not enough. No, he didn't win anything for them. But he took them the farthest they've ever been in the last 50
50
years.
Yeah, that's fine. Any other teams you guys want to touch on? Smythe, you got any other more?
I'm just pulling up the all-time steals leader to see how much further Stockton is than everyone else.
Well, still, no matter what, we're going to be talking about Stockton for the rest of the show. Like,
Bro,
You want to
know
have a
what?
podcast about Stockton?
You know what I hate? I hate the fact that
I think you should do your own podcast, the John Stockton
I hate that
Appreciation
nobody
podcast.
talks about it. And
Because he has no championships. That's the
over
reason why.
600 more steals.
That's the exact reason why.
No, but
That's how the NBA works. If you don't have a championship, you don't get
we
talked
talk
about.
about assists.
That's
John
not
Stockton
true,
assists, but
man.
we don't
The
talk
mailman?
about.
I'm sorry?
The mailman?
Who talks about Who talks about Karl Malone?
All the time.
Nobody.
I do.
Nobody. You
No.
do.
But I'm
You
saying,
appreciate him. I appreciate him. Nobody talks about him.
I'm saying,
What do you mean nobody? Like, I don't understand. Like, how
Is
do
he
you not-
ever mentioned on any of the top lists of all time? Never.
I think he's the best power forward ever. But no, forget
Better
about.
than Tim Duncan?
Yeah, way better than Tim. So let's.
Whoa, way better than Tim Duncan.
Yeah. If I was taking a team, I'm taking Duncan.
Okay, that's ridiculous.
You're
So,
telling me
better than McHale?
You're telling
Yeah,
me
way
in a
better.
list
Whatever.
of top 50 NBA players of all time. That,
He's there. I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying when people start talking about lists and stuff like that, Karl Malone's never mentioned, and it's because he has no ring. That's the one thing in NBA circles. If you don't have a ring,
No.
they don't want to talk about you.
Forget about all that stuff. I'm talking about.
It shouldn't be that way. boss.
We
It
know
shouldn't
John Stockton for passing, but we don't know John Stockton.
be. Are you still on the steals thing?
This guy, we're making a T-shirt for this guy to wear every week about, hey, like it's like a hand up and saying like, don't forget about John Stockton.
John Stockton's clear of Jason Kidd by 600 steals.
Yes, he's a steal. That's fine. That's whatever. It's because he has no ring. That's why no one talks about him.
He's one of the most epic defenders of all time, and we don't talk about John
Jason
Stockton.
Kidd is talked about above John Stockton.
And how many rings? He has one.
Yes.
Who with who?
Mavs.
Dallas. He was on the 11 team, right? To beat
Yeah.
LeBron.
Yeah.
But John Stockton, man.
You want to talk about it some more?
No, you know what? I just need the kids to know.
Unfortunately,
that
that
are
team.
listening.
Unfortunately, that team was in the same time as the Chicago Bulls
Yeah, no.
and the Houston Rockets.
No, but I'm saying people don't appreciate how dope John.
They were
Stockton
arguably
really
the
was.
third or fourth best team of that time.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say John Stockton, but we'll
Do you want to mention him again? You want to say
I
something?
just
About,
want the
you want to say
kids.
something
I
about
want
his
the
steals?
kids at home to understand that John Stockton had the most steals in NBA history, and is clear a kid by over 600.
Okay, where do you put him as point guard?
That's it. Number one.
Sports
man.
Illustrated.
All time?
all time.
Wow.
No
Okay,
questions asked.
that's a little-
Sports Illustrated has Tim Duncan ranked the 10th greatest NBA player of all time,
Yes.
ahead of Kobe Bryant.
Yes, I would too. Kobe Bryant was the third best player.
Karl
of his
Malone was
generation.
17th.
That might be a little high. Maybe.
Where's John Stockton? Where's John Stockton on the list?
He's lower.
Yeah, ridiculous.
I'd pay he's top 30.
30th,
Ridiculous.
just below Isaiah Thomas,
Ridiculous.
and just ahead of Steph Curry.
Steph Curry would pass him as soon as he's done. When he's done.
Stockton's clear Jason Kidd by over 3,000 assists. It's just insane.
When was this written?
You know he had Karl Malone, right? You also have to put that in the caveat. You have to put that in the caveat. He had Karl Malone.
So was Carl Malone stealing the ball?
No, assists. You said assists.
I know. I'm saying he's 3,000 clear on assists.
I know, but he had Karl Malone.
I know, but okay, that's what I'm saying. You can take his assists away then, even though he's cleared by 3,000. Steals.
I know.
One,
But what I'm
all
saying
time.
is, if any point guard at that time, if you had Karl Malone, you would have a lot of assists.
So who does Steve Nash have? Mark Jackson, Jason Kidd. They all had all-stars around them.
I know, but they were switching around. You're
Karl
talking. No, you're
Karl
talking.
Malone's not that good though. Remember?
Did Steve
I didn't
Nash
say
win a
that.
championship?
No,
I guess Phoenix isn't retiring his jersey.
they probably will. What I'm saying is, Karl Malone is the second highest scorer of all time.
Yeah.
Well, someone had to give him the basket.
I know.
The
So
ball.
it's like, here you go, slam. Here you go, slam. Here you go, slam. Like that's. You also got to put that. You also got to put that in the caveat. He had Karl Malone.
So, okay.
So Jason Kidd had.
You say the same thing about Antonio Brown.
Yeah, I
Do you not?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
All I'm saying is,
But it works, right? Like it works. You have to. It's two parts, right?
I know. But you also have to say that. I'm not trying to take away from him. Sorry, I'm not trying to take
Sounds
away
like
from
you are.
Johnson. But you also have to say.
Did you know he was also the Steel Eater?
Get the hell out of here. But how much, Wells? How much?
Steered clear.
I did not know that, Wells. Thank you for telling me that.
like the kids don't know about John Stockton. That's all I'm saying.
Man, you really like John Stockton.
6-point guard ever.
I don't know if that.
No questions asked.
That's fine. You're allowed to like who you like. You're allowed to like who you like. You probably put Carmelo Anthony as the best small forward of all time, too.
Remember, to go back to the Leafs here.
It's before we close the door.
this
Do you agree? Do you agree on being the bad franchise type thing? You did.
No,
Okay, you
I
did.
said I agree. Like,
Okay.
I don't disagree. I disagree on your comments about who should get it more.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm alone on this. I know that.
There was that one year. It was his last game he ever played in NHL was for the Leafs. Doug Gilmour. Do you remember what happened? They traded for him, and in the first game back, he got hurt, and that was it. He never played again after that.
And we're gonna call it right now.
Yeah.
Retired.
Oh, when he came
the
back.
Canadians. He was the Canadians, and he got
Yeah,
traded.
Canadians
to the
didn't
Leafs.
get traded back. I thought you got traded back because he wanted to retire as a Leaf.
No, he got traded because they were making it was a trade
playing.
deadline. Trade.
Oh, okay.
Hockey's the only sport that really does that. They'll like trade a guy away and then trade back for him.
I feel it's not true, but I can't think of another example.
They do in hockey a lot.
This happened in basketball. Remember they had to change rules because June Saugauskas came back to the Caps. They traded him away, they waived him, and he came back.
Yeah.
And they changed the rules to say they can't do that for a year.
Oh, yeah.
So it did happen in basketball for some time. Let's hit some hot points real quick. Jason Witten is going back
Yo,
to
that guy's so
the
funny.
Cowboys
Like why?
because he sucked in the booth. That's why.
Like
He was awful.
Cowboys can't draft a dude.
Monday Night Football was like ESPN was like, dude, you
is
are
not
so
right.
bad. You might want to seek employment elsewhere. And he was like, fine, I'll go play football again.
Yeah, go back. It's fine.
I think color analyst is the only job you can get without experience at all.
You know what I think happened?
No, because you're the analyst, so you're just commenting on what
plays
happens.
I think.
But there's an art to that, though. You have to be good at it.
Sure, I mean, I'm sure they take courses where they train.
You think you took any courses?
they thought they thought they were going to get another Tony Romo?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They really
I
did.
think Romo was
They
so
really,
good.
really
They
did.
just like he just embarrassed.
But the funny thing about it is Witten in the room to the media, he was really good. Tony Romo really wasn't good to the media in the room.
yeah, but Tony Romo has time to.
But
compare
now
him.
you
Yeah.
put them in the booth. Who's better than who?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like you're gonna see this a lot. You're gonna see this. Dwayne Wade, he's gonna get a broadcasting job.
Of course he is.
I thought
100%.
Vince Carter would for sure too.
Vince
Vince
Carter's
Carter's-
doing reps though, because Vince Carter has a podcast.
Yeah, I know.
So he's actually doing
And
reps.
why do you
He's
think he's in Atlanta? Why do you think he didn't get bought out or traded? Because
Yeah.
he's close to TNT.
yeah.
Ooh,
So he's sitting there. He's getting
Hot
reps.
take, eh?
Yeah.
just patiently waiting for his call.
No, that's actually He's
Knocking on the doorstep.
he's getting reps. He's doing podcasts. Jalen Rose was the same thing. He was getting reps.
Jalen Rose is awesome, man. I love him as an analyst.
He's not the.
I really like him, man.
You know.
But you know what I like about him too?
He doesn't have the grasp of the English language, though. That's my only beef about him. Yes. He does not have the grasp of the
Very
English language.
disrespectful.
Yeah, but he also like
No, I mean, he says words he has no idea what they mean.
he's also probably the most honest analyst.
He is.
I loved it when he called out. Who do you call it? Paul Pierce? Like when they were like in the same.
Yeah. He's because Paul Pierce like, oh, you should sit down. He's like, oh, what are you crazy? Anyway, yeah. Jalen Rose was pretty good.
My favorite thing ever was when he was talking about when he was on Toronto and Kobe dropped 81 on
Yeah.
him. That was the funniest thing I've ever
makes fun of
watched.
he makes fun of himself so much. He
my
makes it seem
God.
like he was the only one guarding Kobe, and Kobe dropped 81 on him solely.
He's like, Coach, you want to double team or anything?
Because he's married to Molly Karam, who does who's a host of First Take, and she was like, "I'm sick and tired of guys just always making fun of him. He wasn't the only one there who got scored on." But he loves it.
Is that your female voice?
Yes, that's my
Yeah,
female.
that was
That's my
good.
Molly Karam voice, not my female voice. That's my female voice is completely different. Because even I remember on his podcast one day he said, "Yeah, they should. Yeah, I should definitely get a statue. I should definitely get a statue. Just me underneath Kobe, just with my hand up. As
good,
Kobe's
that's good.
slamming on me." So yeah. So Jason Witten going back to football, he's gonna suck. He's not gonna be good.
Well, he wasn't good in his last season,
Yeah.
but I think that's more of maybe a mentor role. I don't know.
Guess so.
I mean, he plays tight end. Like,
Plays a eight
you don't
snap.
really require much to be a good tight end in the NFL.
Block couple block.
blocking.
couple blocks, you know, maybe you find yourself open a couple
Little
times.
slant route here.
Nick Foles to Jag $20 million.
This hasn't happened yet, though, right?
No, it's rumored.
Oh, yeah. Well, good
Rumor.
for them.
Little too high of a
Dude,
price.
I'm
That's
pr-
way too high of a
Good for
price.
him.
Yeah,
Good for him, man.
20 million?
That's the rumor. It hasn't happened yet because he can't do it yet.
That's too much for Nick Foles? Oh,
Yes!
Why?
Yo, it's good to have Nick Foles here and there on an Eagles team where you don't have to play the whole time. You're giving him $20 million.
He has a Super
And he's
Bowl.
proven before that he can't do this on the
Super
Jaguar
Bowl.
team that's not that great anymore.
Here's the thing. You're getting back your top receiver. You have an excellent defense. And who's a
Is
better...
it still excellent?
Yeah.
Was it good? Was it excellent last year?
Yeah, they were brutal last year. I think... here's what I'm going to say. They're top half of the league. Huh? Anyway. I'll be honest. Nick Foles and the Jaguars is probably pretty scary. You don't think so?
When you say scary, do you mean the Jags fans are like, "Oof, this is scary," or you think like the rest of the league's like, "Oh,
Nick Foles is coming.
this is scary"? Yeah,
I think...
Nick Foles is coming.
I think it's
Deshaun Watson is shaking. Is shaking. Marcus Mariota's like, guys,
I don't
what
want
are you doing?
No, I don't want any part of Nick Foles. I think they go 10-6 this year with Foles.
Okay.
That's my unless you heard him.
Oh, guys, breaking news:
Go on.
Antonio Brown
Oh, wow. That was the next topic.
is going to the Buffalo Bills.
Wow.
Bills closing in on trade with AB.
No way.
Oh, you
I
can't make this up, guys.
I got to take back my bad franchise. The Bills are
Oh, really?
The Bills got it figured out now. It's over now.
You're gonna go from Ben Roethlisberger
What are they
to
going to do
Jared Allen.
now?
What do you mean what are they going to do now? They're going to lose.
Are you kidding me?
Are you joking? Do they have any numbers there?
Buffalo.
Probably not.
Numbers? No, he's getting traded.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Still
For
the
a
year
first
dealing.
round pick, a second round, a third round.
No, there won't be a first round involved.
Definitely not be a first round involved.
What do you think?
Wells is going to a deep dive. So that was going to be my next topic. Unless you had anything else you want to talk about Nick Foles there, Wells.
I'm off the.
Yeah,
Give me
he's,
one
he's
sec,
doing some
guys.
research. He's doing some research. So I was going to ask where should AB go. Apparently now he's going to go to. You're posting in the group.
I'm doing research.
let me move on to Murray while it's in there. Would you go all in on Murray?
No.
For the first in the draft.
No.
No way. Why not?
Didn't do the combine. He's short. Now I'm hearing rumors that he's immature.
Really?
I'm
Where'd you hear
hearing- Someone just ripped him. Someone shredded him. They did the interview section of it. So he didn't do the combine, but you got to do the interviews where the teams sit down and they talk to you. And it's a unanimous person. Anonymous? Whatever.
Anonymous.
They didn't identify themselves, but they said he seemed immature, whatever. But like I'm like, how old is he? 21? Who cares?
Something like that.
What do you want him to be?
Yeah, no.
A consummate professional? But I think he's too small.
Russell Wilson's. They say he's the same height.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson's fine.
Yeah, like, guys, this is
Are you,
guy's
okay,
freaking out.
that's fine. You can come back
this
with
is great. This is the best.
Yeah, that's fine. You can come back
Cleveland
with
or Buffalo, and I was like, this is gonna be great.
All right, come back with it when you got it all. So you wouldn't even waste. Now,
I'm here. I'm here to talk.
okay, wait, hang on, wait. We'll just finish off on the Murray stuff, then we'll come back to you. So the Cardinals are obviously rumored to get him,
Yeah.
and they already have what's his face there?
What?
The Cardinals quarterback they
Josh
drafted.
Rosen.
Josh Rosen.
We already talked about him earlier, man.
Yeah, I know. My brain doesn't work because I'm trying to go back and forth kind of
Yeah.
so Josh Rosen.
They're talking about trading him, but apparently the Cardinals.
If they go
aren't
after Murray, they'll probably have to trade Rosen. Stop it. I think I'm in the same boat as you. The Cardinals are trying to mislead people saying they won't go after Murray. I think they are. I think the Cards will go after Murray. I think they will be drafting him. I don't know. In this NFL, don't you think if you're good at quarterback, you're just good at quarterback?
No.
Or you still think the height is there?
No.
So you're going to take the John Elway approach?
You got
Hey,
it.
6'6". Oh my God, he's awesome.
So, Mahomes, for instance, Mahomes has a high football IQ. Mahomes moves in the pocket. He slings the ball underhand. Mahomes does crazy stuff so he could compete in this league.
Yeah,
he's
Mahomes
small.
is Mahomes. He's
Okay.
not that small. Mahomes is like what, six feet? 6 feet? That's not small.
Okay, 6 feet and 5'9" is almost. It's like this much difference, right?
Apparently makes a big difference in NFL eyes.
Right. So, the stuff he has to do to be relevant in this league, I don't know if Kyler Murray has that capability. And if you look at him play, I don't think he's going to be throwing no look passes or whatever.
No, he's not going to be Murray. Like you can't expect him to be Murray.
If he's not Murray, I don't know if he's an NFL quarterback.
I mean, Mahomes.
Mahomes, excuse me,
Mahomes,
sorry.
sorry. And who's the last small guy that tried that? He plays a lot like
Baker
Manziel.
Mayfield. Baker Mayfield.
No, Baker Mayfield's a gunslinger. He doesn't run.
He can scramble.
Can a little bit before he whips the ball at somebody's face.
Baker Mayfield is not tall.
He's not tall. He's not small though.
I was
He's
trying to
like
look-
6 feet.
And he's
I'm
big,
trying to look up
and
his
he's
height. Sorry.
shoulders,
I was
right?
trying to-
Anyways, why are
Yeah,
we
go
talking
on.
about heights?
Anyway,
Like, what?
6'1". Baker Mayfield 6'1".
my
Drew
case,
Brees is 5'9".
Yeah.
Russell Wilson's 5'9". Height
That's my whole thing. I don't think height really matters. If you can play, you can
doesn't,
play.
man. It's talent is talent.
you're gonna
In
find
this football league,
He should not be a first overall pick.
out. Yeah, you guys won't find out.
There is no shot at him being a first overall
He
pick.
looks to me
You don't think
like
the Cardinals are going to do it? I think they're going to do it.
I think no, they shouldn't. It'd be a joke if they
Should
did.
they do it? No. Are they going to do it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know why.
I think he's Manziel.
I think he should be taken in the 3rd round.
Maybe.
He should not start.
Nope.
What a waste of a pick. Go find something else to like. You just drafted your franchise quarterback with
And
the
they're gonna
10th
trade him.
overall pick last year,
And
and,
they're gonna
now
trade
there's talk of him getting traded for a 3rd round pick. And how does that? What kind of precedent does that set for the rest of the future draft picks on your team? Right, like that you're just willing to replace you.
Well, this is my thing. This is my thing about players. If you think there's a better one, if you just drafted one, but you think you can get a better one, do it.
No,
do it.
Well,
Do it.
No.
Here's my thing. If there's a generational talent available, you have to do it.
He is not a generational
No,
talent.
and that's
No,
my
no.
case in point. Is that I don't think he's even an upgrade over what you have already.
No. Hang on a second. What I'm not comparing the two. But if you think the quarterback you have, the quarterback coming in is better than the one you have, do it. You should do it.
Okay, so my question is.
Is Murray better than
No. My question is last year you don't just draft a quarterback and be like, well, this is
This
going to
guy's
work this
better
year.
because-
This year, no. You drafted him last year knowing who's available next year in the draft, right? You
Yeah.
look at your thing.
Well, you didn't really know
And you
Murray.
also look who's going to be available in the year after.
You didn't really know Murray.
No, but like
They do.
It's not like Kyler Murray's like, okay, I'm
He
playing
took a
football.
signing bonus for baseball.
Yeah,
I know,
So
but
you didn't know he was
but
available.
no, they drafted him before he got drafted
Yeah,
in
yeah,
baseball. But like it's not like, oh, Kyler Murray's available. Wow, this changes everything. It doesn't. He's not that much of a like
I don't think so.
game changer.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think they think so.
That's
They're crazy, man. They're crazy.
yeah. If you had a generational talent, then you
They're
consider
also
it. You
they're
don't
also a
have
team
one.
that hired a coach who had a losing record in college.
Yeah.
But because he coached Patrick Mahomes, he's
What's
he's
going to be
now-
fascinating, who's going to pick up the other quarterback for that 3rd round pick? Steelers, I'm looking at you.
Oh, maybe.
If you can get him for just a 3rd round pick,
Oh, I think
just
every,
to sit him down,
I think every team will
you know how
trade
many,
for
how
him.
many
know
teams
what?
are going to be coming after?
Look, I
if it
wasn't
was going to
impressed.
cost you a 3rd round,
I wasn't impressed one bit with him last year, but he was a rookie quarterback, and I
Yes.
think everyone gets a second chance. But like,
I mean, if you could pick him up on your team for a 3rd round.
if you could trade him for a 3rd round, if you
Do
take
it.
if you take what you get in this deal from the Bills.
well, this is still laughing. Hang on, we're going to get there. We're going to get there.
If you take one of these picks from the Bills and you flip it for Josh Rosen to sit on your bench for a year while Ben mentors him, sign me up. I'll take that.
Yeah, the Bills. I'm looking at. Sorry, not the Bills. I'm looking at the
Stop
Steelers.
laughing.
I'm looking at the Giants.
The Giants would be smart to do something like that.
Even Washington should be in on that.
No, man,
and
they just got their quarterback.
Washington just traded.
and the Patriots should be in on that. If you can get a quarterback for just a 3rd round pick, do it.
Rosen already has a year of playing under his belt. He's ready to
Oh
start.
yeah, do it.
I think
Do
a
it.
team that needs a quarterback takes him.
No, if you have an older quarterback
Yeah.
and you're transitioning, do it. All right, let's go back to the AB. You want to let us in on the joke?
Yeah, he's going to Buffalo. Isn't that enough?
Nothing else on the home front.
I'm just looking at Michael Rappaport reporting that they're finalizing a deal to be sent to the Bills. So obviously we haven't heard anything coming back yet. I'm just
Remember when you wanted to go to the 49ers?
Antonio Brown's gonna be demanding for a trade in like a minute.
I don't know.
No, you think?
You think he's gonna be happy playing the Bills?
First of all-
he wasn't happy playing with the Steelers,
Here's the thing about receivers with personality issues
which is a lot of them.
is a lot of
I don't think
quarterbacks.
it's an issue. It's just they have a big personality. It's not an
Quarterbacks
issue.
make their careers by throwing to that one guy. Romo and Owens, remember that connection?
Yeah.
Right? So a young guy wants to prove himself. You can make a career by throwing to one dude. And what if Josh Allen makes his career by throwing it to Antonio Brown over and over again?
You think Josh Allen and AB is the key for Buffalo's winning?
Josh Allen has the strongest arm in the league.
Yeah.
No questions asked.
Yep.
Antonio Brown's a workhorse. And if Allen says, I'm going to throw it to you over and over again, maybe he likes that situation. I don't know. But I'm like, maybe. Maybe McCoy decides not to be.
Is McCoy still there?
33. McCoy's still there, but he's.
Yeah. 32-year-old LaShawn
yeah,
McCoy.
he'll miss.
31-year-old Antonio Brown.
It's a rough look.
Look, man, I don't fault the Bills for going for it here, like gambling a bit, because they don't have, like you
This is
said
a
earlier,
bad
name a receiver on the team.
Yeah.
You can't. But I mean, this is
a
a
bad
Bikram yoga stretch here.
This is a Buffalo Bills kind of decision.
Look what happened when Terrell Owens came there.
This is a bad.
Look at that train wreck when he
This
came
is
to
a
Buffalo.
Bills type decision. That's all. Like we already talked about it.
This is great.
This is a case in point. That's
This
really
is amazing. I love this.
Yeah.
Of all the places to trade him, I said Cleveland, Oakland, or Buffalo, and I'll laugh at the guy for the rest of his career as it just goes down.
You wouldn't have gotten Cleveland.
Why? He doesn't have a choice.
No, I mean they wouldn't have traded in Cleveland. Not within the division.
Because Cleveland's actually going to be pretty good. this
Yeah,
year.
not within the division.
no one wants to see that.
So it's funny. So maybe we'll talk about a little bit more since if it can go through and we get a little bit more information on the next podcast. You guys want to talk about Ottawa and that mess that happened there? LeBret Fats deal went through. Fell through.
The what?
LeBret
stadium?
Fats, the stadium deal fell through. They fired the coach. More.
How did we put this team in the worst franchise?
I was going to, but they were in the Stanley Cup final like a couple years ago, and I felt like
in
they just lost their top
2006,
player.
2007?
I mean,
No, that was just recently with the
They were in the conference
finals.
yeah, like they're
Oh, so is that like a successful season?
I feel like maybe I feel like
It was recent. That's what he means. Like it's
We
recently.
should-
so
we
was
shouldn't
Edmonton.
put them in
They were
there.
pretty far
They
too.
went to the second round.
Yeah, but they were good. God, I'm just.
I get it. You are lost right now.
They're there. They're up in there. All right. So more of that. Last.
How did this get
This
last?
is great. This is great. Man.
Listen to what he brings up right now, Wells. Listen to this.
What?
Listen to this.
What do you want to talk about?
No,
Tyler?
you go.
Oh, I already know what it's going to be.
Yeah.
What?
LeBron James.
No. Why do you always want to talk about LeBron?
we should talk about LeBron just because he said that. LeBron James did pass Michael Jordan in total points scored.
That's good. That's
in the least ceremonious
Yeah, they also
thing
lost.
I've ever seen.
And they lost. Yeah.
They got their butts kicked last night.
Didn't the last time he passed somebody, they also lost?
Yeah.
When he passed, who was he? Who was
Last
the one?
person who would have paused before MJ?
Yeah. It was also in the lost.
Yeah.
It was also in the lost.
Kobe's next.
Stockton.
He'll never pass.
I was going to talk about that.
What spot is it now in the all time?
He's 3.
He's 3.
So it's Karl Malone and Kareem above him. He's
No,
never
so
going
there's
to
4. Sorry.
Kobe's ahead of him. Karl Malone, and Kareem.
Kareem.
Kobe was ahead of MJ?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. He'll pass Kobe.
No, Kobe took the most. He's taken and missed the most shots in NBA history.
Yeah.
More than Kareem. But if you saw, like, LeBron celebrated alone. The stadium wasn't on his side. His teammates gave him like fake pounds. Like it was actually the saddest thing I've seen in a long time. And I'm like, you alienated Los Angeles. How does that even happen? No one like Los Angeles loves crap like that, superficial stats that no one really cares about. And he was alone on the court. It was sad.
What were we going to talk about? Sorry.
before
Sorry, I
that.
was just going to talk about, if you guys want to talk about anything about Ted Lindsay or Luke Perry, who tragically passed.
Tragic.
I mean, Ted Lindsay's in his 90s.
90,
right?
sorry, that wasn't tragic. Yeah,
And-
he made it to Ted Lindsay. Basically, played on your beloved Detroit before you switched sides. Fought to get the Players Association done, create a union.
That may be his biggest.
Oh yeah,
that is.
he was one of the biggest. Like, he was one of the biggest stars in Detroit. He paid the price for that too when he tried to form the Players Union, because at the time you were either playing on Detroit or you're playing on the Leafs. Those are the two big franchises of the time. Montreal there a little bit. When he tried to form the Players Union, they shipped him off to Chicago, which is basically at that time.
Career.
Siberia.
Yeah.
You did not want to
Kind
go
of
to
like
Chicago.
what the Steelers are doing today.
Oh my god.
So he kind of paid the price for that, but he formed a union, so all hockey players should probably,
And they do.
one of the best players. He also had the nickname Terrible Terry, because at those times the best player was also the toughest player on the team,
Right.
and it was him and Gordie Howe just running around the league.
What was the line? What did they call that line? The production line or something?
Yeah, the production line, mainly because they're scoring like crazy.
That's crazy.
It's you hear about like these guys back in the day, and you wish you could have like watched them, or you wish you could have watched them play.
Or is one guy I wish I could see. Or is one guy I wish I could see.
yeah,
Bobby
exactly. Like you wish you could have seen some of these guys. Like I have nothing to say really. I don't know anything about them.
Orr. Yeah.
But Luke Perry though,
Anything you want to say about Luke Perry?
legend, bro.
Did you guys? No, hang on. How much?
A legend.
Legend.
How much of 90210 did you watch?
A lot.
But
Yeah,
you've seen
right.
every,
Yeah,
you've seen
damn
every
right.
episode.
And it was like a family event.
Yeah.
So my sister loved it, my mom loved it, and so back in the day, you only had like one or two TVs, so
Yeah.
everyone's watching it, right? You're forced to watch it. So yeah, I grew up with him.
Did it actually come on in the first? Like, he wasn't there in the beginning?
No, he was like a side character, wasn't he?
No, he wasn't even in there in the beginning. Like, he wasn't part of the original cast. He came on after.
Right.
And when he came on, everyone was like, "Who is this guy?"
Yeah, this is James Dean
just-
looking.
he just-
Exactly, James Dean,
just-
reincarnated,
He
the
looks
cool
so
guy.
old. Yeah.
Mind you, these guys were like 30 years old playing high school,
Yeah.
high school
And he
people.
didn't talk a lot. I don't know. It was a cool show. Everyone loved him. Sucks that he passed away.
He was on Riverdale.
I heard
Because they were supposed to be starting a reunion of 90210. He actually wasn't going to be on it because he had his contractual obligations with Riverdale. He was on Riverdale as a show.
Right.
So yeah, Luke Perry, another, I guess you can say legend of the 90s type
Legend.
show.
That's straight legend, man.
Everyone was watching that 90210. And he left too. He left 90210 for a bit because he wanted to start doing other things and whatnot.
Dude, everyone was sad.
Yeah.
I mean, sure. It's just another celebrity dead.
Yeah. Well, it was a massive stroke, and he's at bedside.
Yeah,
They pulled the
52 is
plug
so
on
young,
him.
man.
Yeah, man, it was rough.
That's very young.
Sucks. Didn't get to enjoy being rich that long.
Well, I'm sure he enjoyed life up until.
I'm sure he had a good time. Man.
Yes.
I just want to add on
Shoot.
because it's still going
More
on.
heavy.
Antonio Brown in the
No,
bill.
how often do we get like breaking news as we're like recording?
It's not even done yet.
It's
There's
the
been
best
zero
part.
updates. There's been no updates.
It's the best part, man. But do you not think that this is like a bad move for Buffalo?
We know that. That's why they're a bad franchise. We went
look at
over
this-
this
In what
already.
sense?
Okay, you have this wide receiver who's
Talk amongst yourself.
okay.
Sorry, I got it.
Well, your quarterback's 21.
Yeah.
Your running back's 32, and now your top wide
No,
receiver's
not
31.
even age. Your,
It's-
your new wide receiver is an eccentric guy who is not afraid to say what's on his mind. What happens when you start losing, and I don't know what's going on down there. What happens when you start losing, and you have this wide receiver comes in and ruins your quarterback?
But if he has 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, he doesn't care.
I guess if that's all
that's
that
who
matters,
Antonio Brown is.
I guess if that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Well, we lost.
I think we're just gonna sign off without him.
Yeah. So tell them where you can find us.
You can find the T Podcast everywhere you get your pods. So Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you get your pods. Also, our favorite social media sites, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and my personal favorite, Tumblr. And where can you find the Horseplay Podcast, Wellesley?
You can find it on iTunes. You can find us on Instagram at horseplay_podcast. And like I said, we're going to do that bracket challenge for the Horseplay Podcast. So take a look at it, and we'll start posting more about it next week.
And of course,
And of course, you can find all this podcast goodness on the Park
already
Daily.
said
you don't get to do it. You don't
And
get to.
on the Park Daily, theparkdaily.com. Please, rate us and review us on iTunes, on Spotify. That really helps us out. Please get there, guys. Please, we want to try and rate. We're trying to climb the charts, as it will. And
Are you pleading with people?
yes, I want them to do it. It helps. And go rate and review the Play Podcast too as well. It helps everyone out there, man. Go on the website. It helps us.
Helps, man.
And also, you two guys got articles up. Have you guys mentioned that?
I have mine up.
You have an article up.
Mine's-
You want to plug it a little bit?
Coming up
Sure,
soon.
yeah. I wrote an article. I'm going to try and do some stuff on baseball and also some stuff on movies. I'm actually doing tomorrow after I see Captain
Nice.
Marvel. But yeah, I have an article I wrote about a two-way player for Tampa Bay, Brendan McKay. So I know the league's always evolving, and there was a Shohei Ohtani came in last year, and he was such a huge deal that a lot of people haven't talked about Brendan McKay, who's a two-way player for the Tampa Bay Rays. So kind of just like wrote a little article about it. It's on theparkdaily.com, and just check it out if you get a chance.
And Channel 99 is coming soon.
Oh wait.
What's that?
Also, the Team Podcast is trying to find the greatest band of all time, and next week
Coming
will
soon?
be our
No, it's not next week.
the week after. We gotta do our
2
playing.
weeks.
We gotta
In
do
like 2 weeks.
We
In
gotta
like
do
2
our
weeks.
playing round. So maybe we should do a
In
playing
like
round
2
next
weeks.
week.
It starts in like 2 weeks.
Anyway,
Starts in like 2 weeks.
it's gonna be great.
Yeah, a new tournament's coming out. Starts in like 2 weeks. Smythe is doing a tournament this year. Greatest
I'll do it
bands.
next year.
And yes, you are doing one next year. So you got a whole year to come up with a tournament.
And I'm going to show you guys how to take part because we're going to have a lot of good stuff for you guys.
I've
Yeah,
already-
that'll probably last.
Can I already tease what mine's going to be about?
No, we gotta go.
Do you have one?
Greatest porn star
Okay.
ever.
Oh, come on. All right. Now we're out.
Nash Wells and Smythe host the Team Podcast. We love sports just like you.